Chapter 697. Even she knew that Lingyu had been punished severely because she had offended Miss Rong. These young men and women seemed to be related to Miss Rong. It would be best for Xing Chen to remain silent. However, he couldn't control himself. Lin Yan sighed to herself. All she could do now was pray for Xing Chen. Pei Yuchen glanced at Xing Chen coldly. Xing Chen, who do you think you are talking to? Suddenly, the girl named Su Yao glared at Xing Chen coldly. You want brother Yu to forgive that B***tch? Are you joking? That B***tch offended Miss Rong. Brother Yu and Miss Rong are being kind by not chasing her out of the Pei family, and brother Yu sighed. How dare you plead for her? Do you have any respect for Miss Rong? As soon as Su Yao finished speaking, a vein popped up on Xing Chen's forehead, and a frightening cold light flashed in his eyes. Her name is Lingyu. Not B***tch. Xing Chen clenched his fists as though he was trying hard to suppress his anger. Oh, really? Unfortunately, she is just a brainless B***tch who doesn't know her place. Su Yao sneered coldly, completely ignoring Xing Chen's anger. Xing Chen, if that B***tch isn't convinced, you can ask her to leave the Pei family and brother Yu. She can fly as far as she wants. If you can't bear to leave, you can leave with her. The leader of the group grinned. Xing Chen clenched his teeth. Indeed, he had tried to persuade Lingyu to leave, but Lingyu would rather die than agree. Lingyu's parents had passed away when she was young. She had been adopted by the Pei family and had been with Pei Yucheng for many years. If Lingyu was allowed to leave, she would rather die. Even though Lingyu had been reduced to such a state, she had endured it and refused to leave. Xing Chen, that B***tch offended Miss Rong. Miss Rong is being merciful by merely punishing her. If that B***tch wasn't brother Yu's woman, she would have suffered 1,000 times more, Su Yao said softly. I'll say it again. Her name is Lingyu, not B***tch. Xing Chen lowered his voice. Lin Yan could see that Xing Chen's body was quivering, as though he had reached his limit. Lin Yan believed that the girl named Lingyu must be very important to Xing Chen. She was so important that this boy would give up everything for her. In the past, Xing Chen might have been able to stop the others from using Lingyu as a bargaining chip and refuse to betray Pei Yucheng. However, now that these people had stirred things up, he might not be able to do so. Brother Yu, Xing Chen is considered an old man in the Pei family, but look at what he's doing. Is that how an old man should behave? If Miss Rong finds out, I'm afraid Xing Chen won't have a good ending, Su Yao said to Pei Yucheng. Don't add fuel to the fire. I didn't mean to be disrespectful to Miss Rong, Xing Chen hurriedly said. Then what do you mean? Just for that bitch? Su Yao sneered, Xing Chen, you're really an infatuated type. However, let me tell you a secret. I heard that B***tch went around seducing other men. Oh, right, she even seduced him before. Su Yao pointed at the young man beside her. Lin Yan couldn't help but worry for Xing Chen. These people were clearly trying to provoke him. Chapter 698. Given Lin Yan's current situation, there was nothing she could do. Xing Chen was so enraged that he hadn't noticed Lin Yan's text message. Right now, Xing Chen was completely led by the nose by this woman called Su Yao. Under normal circumstances, Xing Chen was a calm and intelligent person. Unfortunately, when it came to Lingyu, his brain was gone. Xing Chen, Su Yao is right. That B***tch tried to seduce me before. Of course, I'm also a man, so I didn't reject her. Then, are you sure I want to continue? Of course, if you don't mind. The young man looked at Xing Chen and laughed softly. You have a death wish. As the man's voice fell, Xing Chen could no longer stand it. His beast-like aura instantly exploded, and his fist turned into a claw, immediately hooking towards the man's neck. Suddenly, Lin Yan, who had been silent all this while, stepped forward and grabbed Xing Chen's arm. The young men and women's eyes instantly landed on Lin Yan, who they had almost forgotten. Miss Lin. Xing Chen stared at Lin Yan in surprise. Lin Yan's face was as cold as ice. However, she quickly composed herself and smiled. Xing Chen, you're too enthusiastic. Even if you want to spar, you have to wait until you're free. Spar? Lady, he doesn't look like he's going to spar with anyone. I think he wants to fight to the death. Su Yao glanced at Lin Yan. Lin Yan glanced at Su Yao. That's strange. Xing Chen has no feud with any of you. No one provoked him or provoked him intentionally. Why would he risk his life to fight with others? You, Su Yao glanced at Lin Yan with a frown. She had underestimated this woman. Miss Lin, I will bear the consequences myself. You don't have to worry about me. They insulted my good friend, and I can't tolerate it. Xing Chen was still on the verge of exploding. Lin Yan couldn't help but sigh inwardly. What an emotional fool. Lin Yan could sense that Xing Chen was on the verge of losing control. If she tried to stop him, wouldn't he beat her up as well? Besides, Lin Yan knew that there was no way to salvage the situation. If there was no progress on Ling Yu's matter, there would only be two consequences. The first was that Xing Chen would start fighting here. With Miss Rong suppressing him from above, Xing Chen wouldn't have a good ending. The second possibility was that Xing Chen would betray Pei Yucheng. He would. Although her rationality told her that she should just sit back and pretend that nothing had happened, it was really difficult for her to do that. After all, Xing Chen had taken good care of her and had never treated her like an outsider. Lin Yan glared at Xing Chen. Is there something wrong with your brain? What's the rush? Have you forgotten what I promised you? Am I not here to fulfill my promise? Lin Yan had really been forced to do something beyond her ability. She had no choice but to thicken her skin. Xing Chen glared at Lin Yan, his eyes filled with anger and surprise. He had no choice but to rely on Lin Yan as a life-saving straw. However, he knew that Lin Yan didn't owe him anything, so she wouldn't help him. Lin Yan didn't give Xing Chen a chance to mull over this. She let go of him and strode over to Pei Yucheng. Ahem. Let's talk. I would like to ask if you could do me a favor. Chapter 699. Give her some face on Weibo. Everyone turned to look at Lin Yan. Pei Yucheng's eyes trailed to Lin Yan as he asked softly, what do you mean? Lin Yan pondered for a moment before she said, Mr. Pei, can you forgive Ling Yu? Xing Chen, who was standing next to her, looked startled and incredulous. Xing Chen had asked Lin Yan to plead for mercy on his behalf. However, he had never imagined that Lin Yan would actually plead for mercy on Ling Yu's behalf, especially under such circumstances. Did I hear you correctly? Su Yao glanced at Lin Yan, not bothering to hide her disdain. Lady, aren't you being too nosy? You don't know much about relationships. I think you shouldn't plead on behalf of others. Although she didn't think much of this woman, Xing Chen had said that she was Pei Yucheng's girlfriend. Regardless of whether it was for fun or not, she was still his girlfriend. Hence, Su Yao didn't go overboard on account of Pei Yucheng. However, Su Yao had made it clear that Lin Yan shouldn't be a busybody. Lady, do you have some misunderstanding about your status? The young man glanced at Lin Yan and chuckled softly. He wasn't as direct as Su Yao. Su Yao added, whether you are Brother Yu's girlfriend or not, even if you are, you have no right to interfere in our work. Lin Yan ignored them. She was pleading with Pei Yucheng, so she didn't need to care about anything else. Lin Yan was merely giving it a try. This was the only thing she could do for Xing Chen right now. Reason. Pei Yucheng glanced at Lin Yan unhurriedly. Reason? Lin Yan was startled when she heard that. She was really stumped. Brother Yu, don't blame Miss Lin. I was the one who pestered her and forced her to plead for mercy for me. That's why Lin Yan intervened, Xing Chen hurriedly explained when he realized that he might implicate Lin Yan. Pei Yuqing remained silent as he studied Lin Yan. Lin Yan's eyes darted to the girl named Su Yao, who was staring at her with a mocking expression. She was merely a clown in front of the noble Miss Rong. She glanced at Su Yao with a faint smile before she turned to Pei Yuqing. The reason is that, as the future Mrs. Pei, I believe that I should have some say in such a small matter, right? Pei Yuqing's face darkened as he said softly, the reason is that, as the future Mrs. Pei, I believe that I have some say in such a small matter. Xing Chen, Su Yao. The future Madame Pei? She was just a dispensable female companion. Who gave her the courage to say such words? Everyone watched in astonishment as Pei Yuqing's eyes rippled. He chuckled softly and met the girl's bright eyes. Yeah, that's a good reason. Xing Chen, Su Yao and the others, Lin Yan was speechless. For a moment, Lin Yan couldn't snap back to her senses. She had only said those words in a moment of anger. She hadn't expected Pei Yuqing to say that. The reason was sufficient. Chapter 700. Sure, I promise you, Pei Yuqing added. Lin Yan was speechless. It was settled just like that? Had she heard wrongly? Or was she dreaming? Lin Yan had initially thought that this was a hellish challenge. Who would have thought that it would be a challenge of lip service? She had merely said a few words, and it had been settled? Lin Yan was stunned. Xing Chen, who had been worried that Lin Yan would be harmed, was dumbfounded as well. Xiaoya was fine. She was fine just like that. Brother Yu. The young man frowned. Brother Yu, Miss Rong doesn't like that *tch Ling Yu. How could you, however, before the leading young man could finish his words, a voice suddenly rang out. There was a loud bang. Lin Yan and Xing Chen jumped in fright. Both Lin Yan and Xing Chen looked astonished. The young man's head had slammed against the table. Pei Yuqing, who had been as gentle as a spring breeze, had pressed his left hand against the young man's head. His movement seemed casual, but no matter how the young man struggled, Pei Yuqing's hand was like a mountain that couldn't be moved. Brother Yu, the current situation caused the expressions of Su Yao and the others to change. Before they could say anything else, Pei Yuqing's cold gaze swept across them. In just an instant, Su Yao and the others didn't dare to speak another word. Brother Yu. You. The young man, whose head had been pressed against the desk by Pei Yuqing, was perspiring profusely. He couldn't understand why Pei Yuqing was so angry and why he had attacked him. Do you want to know? Pei Yuqing's voice was as cold as ice, sending chills down one's spine. Brother Yu, I don't understand. The young man gritted his teeth. Pei Yuqing glanced at the young man. Ling Yu and Xing Chen are my subordinates. Pei Yuqing replied calmly, no matter how inappropriate they are, they have no right to be insulted. The young man shuddered and hurriedly said, Brother Yu, I understand. We didn't think this through, also. Pei Yuqing glanced at Lin Yan. Miss Lin, what you said just now, his eyes trailed to Su Yao. Did you hear me? Yes. Yes, Brother Yu, Su Yao answered hastily. After some time, Pei Yuqing released his grip and the young man pulled away. Do what you have to do. Pei Yuqing waved his hand dismissively. The group of young men and women exchanged a look before they left without a backward glance. After Su Yao and the others left, Xing Chen turned to Pei Yuqing in disbelief. Brother Yu, Miss Rong, do what you have to do, Pei Yuqing told Xing Chen. Brother Yu, I'm sorry. I swear that I will restrain myself in the future. There won't be a second time. Xing Chen pleaded anxiously. Ling Yu can come back now, Pei Yuqing added. Xing Chen was thrilled to hear Pei Yuqing. Brother Yu, thank you. It has nothing to do with me, Pei Yuqing replied. Xing Chen naturally understood what Pei Yuqing meant. He turned to Lin Yan. Miss Lin, thank you. Lin Yan, who was still in a daze, felt as though she was in a dream. She pondered carefully and wondered why she had been so bold earlier. Why hadn't she felt afraid at all? Or was she born with guts? Lin Yan had never imagined that her plea would be so easy. It was so easy that she couldn't believe it. No matter how he looked at it, today clearly wasn't the right time. Pei Yuqing was really giving her face. End of this chapter. Chapter 701. After Su Yao, Xing Chen, and the others left, Lin Yan and Pei Yuqing were the only ones left in the room. Lin Yan, who had calmed down, scratched her head awkwardly. Ahem. Mr. Pei, I'm sorry. I shouldn't have spouted nonsense. I shouldn't have interfered. How could she be possessed and say that she was the future Madame Pei? What the hell? Pei Yuqing's eyes darted to the girl. Nonsense? Miss Lin, what are you referring to? What else could she be referring to? Of course, Lin Yan was referring to the future Mrs. Pei. However, Lin Yan was about to speak when she sensed that Pei Yuqing's aura had turned colder. What was going on? Lin Yan's instinctive desire to live made her swallow her words. She waved her hands cautiously and said, "No. Of course, I meant what I said earlier. I was just worried. I was worried that I might have interfered and interfered." The glint in Pei Yuqing's eyes flickered as though it had never appeared. He grinned and said, "Miss Lin, don't worry. I told you that you have a good reason." Lin Yan was speechless. Pei Yuqing might have been trying to save her face in front of the others, but now, he was trying to save her face. What about now? Lin Yan was in a daze. She had always thought that Pei Yuqing hadn't lost interest in her yet. She had tried her best to maintain her status as his girlfriend. She had never imagined that she could go any further. How could that be possible? Even though she didn't know much about the Pei family, she knew what it meant to be Mrs. Pei. Before Lin Yan could mull over this, Pei Yuqing suddenly said, "I'm sorry. I didn't mean to offend you." Lin Yan was startled. Huh? What? What did he mean by offending her? Pei Yuqing's eyes trailed to her lips. At that moment, Lin Yan could still feel the lingering sensation of his invasion on her lips. Lin Yan finally understood what he was talking about when she noticed his gaze. She coughed and said, "No. It's fine. It's fine. I came in without permission and disturbed your rest." Pei Yuqing seemed to be very alert, so he hadn't been fully awake. To prove that she didn't mind, she added, "Besides, we're a couple. Why should I apologize? I didn't offend you at all. It's a matter of course for me to offend you." Pei Yuqing lowered his eyes and grinned. "Is that so? If that's the case, I do regret it a little." Lin Yan replied, "Huh? Regret what?" Pei Yuqing replied, "Nothing more." Lin Yan coughed violently. Lin Yan was scared out of her wits. She wanted to slap herself for talking too much. "Who asked you to have such a big mouth?" Pei Yuqing's smile faded. "Is there anything else you want to ask me?" Lin Yan pondered for a moment before she shook her head. "I just hope that my impulsiveness today won't affect you. After all, Miss Rong seems to be an important person." Pei Yuqing nodded. "Yeah, it's very important." Lin Yan, who was still worried, heard the man say slowly, "However, nothing is more important than the future Mrs. Pei." Lin Yan was speechless. This was against the rules. Translator, Henyi Translations Editor, Henyi Translations Translator, Henyi Translations Editor, Henyi Translations, end of chapter. Chapter 702. The next morning, at Cloud Manor, cats were meowing in the bedroom, and the floor was covered in cat fur. The battle between the ragdoll and the orange cat had reached an epic level. Lin Yan had just opened the door and entered the room when she was stunned by the scene before her. How the hell was this still her room? Before she had left, she had tidied up the room and vacuumed up all the cat fur. How long had it been since she had left? Her clean room had completely turned into a battlefield for the two ancestors. On the floor and even on the bed, white and yellow cat fur was mixed together. Even her cute pillow was covered in cat fur. F***ck. My bag. Lin Yen looked hopeless. A few days ago, she had gritted her teeth and stomped her feet in anger. The bag that she had spent thousands of dollars on had become scrap metal. Ha ha ha. You guys are in big trouble. Pei Yutong, who had followed Lin Yen into the room, roared with laughter when he saw the scene. Pei Yutong knew better than anyone how stingy Lin Yen was. She wasn't stingy at all. She treated money as if it was her life. She was a real miser who wouldn't spare a single cent. Lin Yen could earn money, but she wouldn't be able to fork out money. If she knew how to sew, she would have bought the materials to make a new bag herself. Daddy, come to my team. I'll ask my brother to buy 10 for you. Pei Yutong grinned at the furious Lin Yen. Shut up. Lin Yen glared at Pei Yutong. Pei Yutong, who could sense the murderous intent in Lin Yan's eyes, nodded repeatedly. Okay, Daddy. No problem. Lin Yan's expression was unfriendly. She had just bought a new bag, but it had been scratched by a little brat. There were dozens of hideous scratches on it. It couldn't be used anymore. Who did this? Step forward. Lin Yen picked up the damaged bag from the floor and almost spat out a mouthful of blood. What kind of sin had she committed? Ha ha ha. Daddy, are you dumb? Can cats talk? If cats, Pei Yutong was halfway through his sentence when he sensed Lin Yan's murderous gaze. Yeah. Who did this? Step forward now. How can you be considered a good cat if you don't dare to admit what you've done? Pei Yutong shouted sternly. The orange kitten and the rag doll quietened down and turned to look at Lin Yen. Among them, the little plushie's paw was even scratching the orange cat's chubby face. Soon, the orange kitten and rag doll strode over to Lin Yen and rubbed their bodies against her legs. The corners of Lin Yan's mouth curled up into a sneer. It's useless. I won't fall for your tricks. Meow, little orange kitten resembled a pitiful little vixen as it gazed at Lin Yen with its round eyes and whimpered coquettishly. Lin Yen fell silent for a few seconds. Then, she squatted down and stroked the kitten's fur furiously. Oh my God, Mommy's little baby, little cutie, little sweetheart, quick, let Mommy kiss you, Mommy knows it's definitely not you. Lin Yen pressed her face against the orange kitten's body and rubbed her face against it for a long time. Pei Yutong was speechless. Soon, Lin Yen turned to the little plushie. You must be the one who scratched Mommy's bag, right? Although this plushie was a female cat, her beauty was off the charts. She looked like a noble little princess, but her temper was particularly bad. She was simply a little tigress. She liked to pick a fight with Xiaoxi whenever she had nothing to do. Lin Yen reckoned that it was most likely the culprit. End of this chapter. Chapter 703. Lin Yen glanced at the ragdoll. You must be the one who scratched Mommy's bag, right? Although this plushie was a female cat, her beauty was off the charts. She looked like a noble little princess, but her temper was particularly bad. She was simply a little tigress. She liked to pick a fight with Xiaoxi whenever she had nothing to do. Lin Yen reckoned that it had to be the culprit. Lin Yan's heart bled as she stared at the bag she had spent a fortune on. However, before she went out, she clearly locked the two cats in their respective cat cages. How did the two cats run out of the cages in such a short time? Lin Yen stared at the ragdoll. It must be you. Brother is so adorable. He would never do such a thing. The ragdoll was speechless. Pei Yutong was speechless. She hadn't even verified it yet she was so sure that little Million was the culprit. Wasn't she being too biased? Pei Yutong's face was filled with sorrow, which reminded him of his father. Big brother and second brother were that orange kitten, while he was that ragdoll. It's useless even if you deny it. I have a surveillance camera. Lin Yen sneered coldly. Lin Yan whipped out her phone and turned on the surveillance camera. Ever since she had placed the two cats in her room, Lin Yan had bought a portable surveillance robot online. It was mainly used to monitor Prosperous and Rich Bag's meals when she wasn't around. Lin Yan connected her phone to the surveillance robot's Bluetooth system and played the video. Pei Yutong leaned over and stared at the video on Lin Yan's phone. In the video, the two cats were locked in separate cages. Before long, the ragdoll taunted the orange kitten. The plushie reached its paw out of the cage and opened the door with ease. The ragdoll leaped onto Lin Yan's desk and played with her new bag like a toy. When it was tired of it, it slammed the bag on the floor. The ragdoll strode to the orange kitten's cage and taunted it repeatedly. The ragdoll seemed to know that the orange kitten couldn't threaten it in the cage. It extended its claws and slapped the orange kitten's face repeatedly. Finally, the orange cat became impatient and also tried to retaliate with his paw. However, unfortunately, the orange cat's paw accidentally flipped over the iron bars and opened the cage door. After the orange tabby's cage was opened, the two cats were stunned for a few seconds. Then, the little ragdoll that had been provoking them turned around and ran away. The orange cat angrily roared, then quickly chased after it, riding on the little ragdoll's back and rubbing it against the ground. However, even if the little ragdoll couldn't win, it still persisted in provoking the little orange cat. It was really annoying. Lin Yan was speechless. Pei Yutong replied, F***CK. Who would have thought that little Wan Wan was the real culprit? He's obviously so good-looking, but he's actually such a hooligan. Lin Yan was so angry that she could see stars. She glared at the doll and yelled, sweater, scarf, silk blanket, and now bag. It's only been a few days, and you've already wasted so much of my stuff. Bastard. I'll fight it out with you. Lin Yan reached out to teach the puppet a lesson. Pei Yutong hurriedly said, Daddy, stop. Absolutely not. Without giving Lin Yan a chance to speak, Pei Yutong clicked on his phone. Why can't I? You need to be taught a lesson for being so mischievous. Do you think that you can do whatever you want just because you're good-looking? Lin Yan retorted. Pei Yutong passed his phone to Lin Yan. Price list of Ragdoll Cat Super Champion. Ragdoll Cat's price, 80,000 to 150000. Champion Ragdoll Cat's price, 30,000 to 60,000. Better Ragdoll Cat's price, more than 20,000. Lin Yan's hand froze in midair. Chapter 704. That's so expensive. Lin Yan was dumbfounded. It's worth more than a dozen new bags. No. Daddy, you're wrong. It's 5 to 70 bags. Pei Yutong fixed his eyes on Lin Yan and corrected her. What? 5 to 70 bags? Lin Yan was in disbelief. Pei Yutong grinned. Daddy, my ex-girlfriend had a few ragdoll kittens before. I can tell you with absolute certainty that this ragdoll has at least a super bloodline. It must be an elite one. You might not even be able to buy it with 150,000 yuan. Lin Yan was speechless. Lin Yan lowered her hand quietly and picked up the torn bag. She placed it in front of the ragdoll. Come on, baby. Grab as much as you want. She might not be able to do whatever she wanted because she was pretty, however, she could be expensive. Pei Yutong was speechless. Lin Yan couldn't help but feel puzzled. In the past, she had adopted and rescued many stray cats. Most of them were wild cats. Occasionally, there would be some breeds that were sick or had genetic problems. Hence, they had been abandoned. She had never picked up a ragdoll before. Furthermore, it was a healthy ragdoll. The odds were as good as winning the lottery. She hadn't had much contact with ragdolls, so she didn't know much about them. She only knew that they were expensive. Pei Yutong had just told her that they were expensive. Hence, the question was, who had lost this little ancestor? Pei Yucheng's villa was located halfway up the mountain, and there was no one around. How had a cat that was only a few months old and had led a pampered life to such a desolate place? She didn't even know where to paste the notice to look for its owner. She could only paste some at the bus stop at the foot of the mountain. In short, it felt as though a stack of cash had grown eyes and had landed on her head. It was unbelievable. Lin Yen clutched her throbbing chest and sighed repeatedly as she stared at waste Wangguan, who continued to play with the bag. She could only think of a way to find this little ancestor's owner. Otherwise, there would be another creature in this world that would make her go bankrupt. After feeding the cat, Lin Yen made a post on Weibo. Whose little ancestor is this? Hurry up and bring it back. Don't let it continue to bully me. The accompanying photo was a photo of Xiao Wanwan, and next to it was her bag that had been scratched. She was staying with Pei Yuqing now, so she couldn't reveal her address. Thus, she could only use this method to find her owner. Other than that Weibo post, Lin Yen rarely posted anything else. Most of her posts were about cats. After this Weibo post came out, many fans were amazed at the ragdoll kitten's beauty. Holy sh*t, this is too good to look at. What kind of fairy kitten is this? What's the big deal with a bag? I'll give you anything you want. Most of them were Lin Yan's haters. Moreover, the curses from below were even more numerous than before. It seemed that a very high-level charity event in the country was about to begin the annual selection of the philanthropic ambassador. Currently, Lin Xia was the most popular candidate. Recently, there had been a lot of discussions about her on the internet. Coincidentally, Lin Yen had posted a few Weibo posts about stray cats. This gave her haters a chance to vent their anger and scold her for putting on a show. End of chapter. Chapter 705. Many clouds in the wind commented, this ragdoll must be at least at the bloodline level. It must be worth at least 50,000 yuan. Who would throw away such an expensive ragdoll? How can a stray cat be so stupid? How disgusting. I only noticed Lin Yen after watching her race. I never imagined that she would be such a person. How dare she put on a show just to attend a charity event? It's such a coincidence. The charity event has just started and Lin Yen picked up 2 cats. I'm speechless because one of them was a doll of such quality. I laughed. If she is capable enough, I'll get her to pick up another one. I'll believe her. Fat Otaku Cola commented, TSK. Is she trying to imitate Lin Xia again? Lin Xia is really beautiful and kind. She isn't like someone who is putting on a show. Do you think that 2 kittens can compete with Xia's angel shelter? Everyone, stop watching the show. Let's vote for Xia's angel shelter's 6th anniversary. Lin Yen was baffled as she read the comments. She was merely trying to find the owner of the house. The owner of the precious ragdoll must have been worried that it had gone missing. These haters were really all-pervasive. However, Lin Yen couldn't help but admire Lin Xia's methods when she heard them mention Angel's Shelter. Lin Yen had established Angel's Shelter 6 years ago to adopt stray pets. However, she had been overseas and hadn't had much time to manage it. Hence, she had entrusted Angel's Shelter to Lin Xia. Lin Yen had paid for Angel's Shelter every month. Initially, Lin Xia had been extremely reluctant. She had never imagined that Angel's Shelter would end up in her hands. She had even become the founder of Angel's Shelter. How ironic. Others might not know, but Lin Yen was well aware that Lin Xia didn't like animals. In fact, she despised them. However, now, she had created an image of herself as a kind and beautiful angel who loved animals. If Lin Yen had been in the audience, she would have applauded Lin Xia. She deserved the title of Best Actress. Before long, Lin Yen realized that Lin Xia's post had become the top trending topic. Angel's Shelter's 6th anniversary is dedicated to their beloved pets. Lin Yen clicked on the post. When she saw those emotional words, she almost vomited. That was way too mushy. Goosebumps rose all over his body. Most of the comments were praising Lin Xia, but there were also a few who criticized Lin Yan. They claimed that Lin Yan was putting on a show just to attend the charity event. At this moment, in the office of a certain company, Lin Shia stood in front of the huge floor-to-ceiling window and looked down at the scenery outside. The corners of her mouth curled up slightly. Sister Shia, it's already the top search engine. Lin Shia's assistant stepped forward and spoke to her. Lin Shia nodded and fell silent for a moment. Did anyone vote for Lin Yan? The assistant glanced at the results and shook her head. Sister Shia, there are only a few votes. It's impossible to enter the charity banquet with just these votes. Those who were able to attend the charity gala were mostly high-ranking celebrities from various industries and had done a certain amount of good deeds. These people had basically been pre-invited. Apart from these people, there was an extremely small group of people who were not qualified to attend the charity gala. The netizens could vote for them, and if they had enough votes, they would be given the right to attend the charity gala. Chapter 706. Lin Shia, on the other hand, had already been invited to the charity event because of Angel's Shelter. There was no need for a vote. Moreover, those who were voted into the charity gala were basically passers-by who had no right to speak. They could only be considered to have gone there to broaden their horizons. Lin Yan, on the other hand, wasn't eligible to attend the charity event. She would have to go through a large number of votes if she wanted to enter. Let Lin Yan attend the charity event. Lin Shia glanced at her assistant with a smile. Lin Shia's assistant was taken aback. She stared at Lin Shia with a puzzled expression on her face. Sister Shia. Did I hear wrongly? Did you just say that you want Lin Yan to attend the charity event? You heard me right. That's what I said. Lin Shia smiled. The assistant frowned slightly. Sister Shia, why are you letting that woman attend the charity event? Does she deserve it? Lin Shia glanced at her assistant. Do as I say. The assistant was silent for a moment. Sister Shia, even if we listen to you, we aren't familiar with the president of this year's banquet. It won't be easy to find someone to enter the banquet. Of course it's not easy. Lin Shia replied calmly, the organizer this time is very powerful. I heard that he isn't easy to get along with. How are we going to get her to attend the charity event? The assistant was puzzled. Get someone to help Lin Yan increase her votes, replied Lin Shia. Sister Shia, I understand. I will get it done. Although the assistant didn't understand Lin Shia's actions, she couldn't say anything else. She could only do as she was told. After her assistant left, Lin Shia stared out the window and sneered coldly. Sis, don't disappoint me. I've helped you so much, so you have to go. She wanted Lin Yan to witness with her own eyes how Angel's Shelter, which she had founded, would fall into her hands. Furthermore, she would have to make Lin Yan witness how she would use Angel's Shelter to become the next president of the charity organization. That wouldn't be a good feeling. In the eyes of the public, the founder of Angel's Shelter was Lin Shia. It couldn't be anyone else. At the charity event, everyone would praise her in Angel's Shelter. Lin Yan, on the other hand, would become a clown in the eyes of others. What would people think of her? In order to enter the charity banquet, she did not hesitate to put on a show online. Every time she thought about this, she would find it interesting. However, if Lin Yan didn't go, she would lose a source of entertainment. Sister Shia. At that moment, a young man in a racing team uniform walked into the office expressionlessly. How's the Aurora team? Lin Shia looked at the young man. Sister Shia, we have completed the transaction. We are now the biggest investor in the Aurora team. We have acquired 31% of the team's shares, the young man said. 31%. Lin Shia glanced at the young man. Is that the highest? The young man nodded. Yes, Sister Shia. Hidinkuan is only willing to offer 31% of the shares. Lin Shia fell into deep thought. She had originally intended to take control of the Aurora team. However, if she wanted to become the biggest shareholder of the team, she would need at least 51% of the shares. Chapter 707. However, 31% wasn't Lin Shia's ultimate goal. Who else has shares in Aurora? Lin Shia glanced at the young man. Sister Shia, it's hard to say. However, when Aurora was still the He family team, He Dingkuan's eldest son, He Xiong, held some shares, the young man replied after some thought. The corners of Lin Shia's mouth curled upwards. If it was He Xiong, it would be easy to deal with him. I got it. You can go ahead, replied Lin Shia. Alright, Shia. Call me if you need anything. The young man turned around and left. Lin Shia scrolled through her phone for some time before she dialed a number. Who is it? He Xiong's voice was heard. Uncle, it's me. Lin Shia chuckled softly. Lin Shia? He Xiong seemed to recognize Lin Shia's voice, as he was taken aback. He hadn't expected that Lin Shia would call him. Lin Shia, it's rare for you to call me. I wouldn't dare to call you uncle. He Xiong sneered coldly. Uncle, what are you talking about? You're my uncle, and that will never change, replied Lin Shia. Lin Shia, you and your sister are jackals of the same tribe. Haven't you caused enough harm to us? He Xiong bellowed angrily. Uncle, I'm different from sister. I know that she did something wrong and caused you and cousin Minkai to suffer. Now, the He family team is gone. It's been renamed the Aurora team. Uncle, I'm here to help you, said Lin Shia. Help me? He Xiong sounded odd. Uncle, I won't beat around the bush. Do you have shares in the He family team, which is now called Aurora? Lin Shia cut to the chase. Of course I do. Why? Why are you asking? He Xiong sounded wary and suspicious. Uncle, I'll be frank with you. My team has acquired a portion of Aurora's shares. If you're willing to transfer your shares to me, I'll be the biggest shareholder of Aurora. I'll be able to control Aurora, replied Lin Shia. He Xiong roared with laughter. Lin Shia, is there something wrong with your brain, or is there something wrong with me? You want to take the shares from my hands? Dream on. Lin Shia didn't panic in the face of He Xiong's unfriendly tone. Instead, she chuckled and said, Uncle, you don't have to be so hostile towards me. I've already said that I'm completely different from my sister. As long as you transfer your shares to me, I'll pay double the price. Moreover, Uncle, you will be the person in charge of the Aurora Battle Squad. When that time comes, Uncle and I will manage the Aurora Battle Squad together. In the Aurora Battle Squad, other than me, Uncle, you are the one in charge. On the other end of the line, He Xiong fell silent. To Lin Shia, even if He Xiong rejected her offer, she could still think of other ways to purchase the shares. 10 seconds later, He Xiong asked curiously, Lin Shia, are you kidding me? Are you that kind? Buying the shares at double the price and making him the person in charge of the Aurora team. What good would that do for her? Uncle, can you tell me how many shares you have? Asked Lin Shia. 20%, replied He Xiong. Lin Shia's eyes lit up. Chapter 708. Uncle, why don't you come to my company when you have the time? We can discuss this in detail. If you don't believe me, we can sign a contract first. Other than paying double the price, we can also sign a contract for the position of the person in charge, Lin Shia said softly. As long as He Xiong was willing, the Aurora team would fall into her hands. She wanted to see what Lin Yan could do in her hands. Lin Shia, are you serious or are you just joking? I don't have time to talk nonsense with you. He Xiong said. Uncle, what I said isn't important. What's important is the contract. Am I right? Lin Shia smiled. A moment later, He Xiong's voice was heard, send me the address, I'll go take a look. 2 hours later, He Xiong looked at the signed contracts in Lin Shia's office. He was still in disbelief. Dad, I told you that Shia is different from that SL*T. He Minkai's eyes gleamed with excitement. Shia, I misunderstood you, He Xiong said to Lin Shia. Lin Shia shook her head. Uncle, don't say that. We are a family. He Xiong looked at the contract. After the shares were transferred, Lin Shia would be the biggest shareholder of the Aurora team. At that time, he would be the person in charge. Even the old master, He Dingkuan, wouldn't be able to stop him. Cloud Manor Lin Yen was playing with the cat when she heard a voice outside. Miss Lin Yen, are you there? Lin Yen was startled to hear Xing Chen's voice. She got up, put on her slippers, and opened the door. As expected, Xing Chen was standing outside the door with a face full of smiles. Xing Chen, what's wrong? Lin Yen glanced at Xing Chen, looking puzzled. Miss Lin Yen, I'm here to thank you. Also, there's someone you should get to know, Xing Chen replied. As soon as Xing Chen finished speaking, the girl walked out from the side. The girl was wearing a white business suit, and her long black hair was tied up to her waist. Her face was cold, and her temperament was extraordinary. Lin Yen glanced at the girl with a puzzled expression. She didn't know this girl and had never seen her before. Sister-in-law, sister-in-law. The girl glanced at Lin Yen with a blush on her cold, aloof face. Lin Yen was dumbfounded by the way the girl had addressed her. Was this the girl named Ling Yu? Miss Lin Yen, this is... Xing Chen stared at Lin Yen and was about to introduce her to him when the girl glanced at him in displeasure. I'll do it myself. Xing Chen scratched his head and said, all right, tell me yourself. Sister-in-law, hello. My name is Ling Yu. I'm brother Yu's subordinate. Ling Yu glanced at Lin Yen. Hi, hi. Lin Yen hurried forward to shake the girl's hand. She had guessed correctly. Xing Chen had indeed brought Ling Yu. No wonder Xing Chen was so hell-bent on this girl called Ling Yu. She was very beautiful and had a very cold temperament. Her aura was also very strong. She was simply an ice goddess that no one dared to approach. Sister-in-law. Thank you. You're my benefactor. Ling Yu gazed at Lin Yen, blushing again. Miss Lin Yen, Ling Yu has never thanked anyone or addressed anyone as her sister-in-law. She doesn't have many friends either, so this is her first time, so she might be a little shy. Xing Chen explained awkwardly. Xing Chen, shut up. Ling Yu frowned. Chapter 709. All right. I'll stop talking. You go ahead. Xing Chen chuckled softly at Ling Yu and plopped down on the couch beside Lin Yen. Sister-in-law, can I call you that? Ling Yu's eyes roamed over Lin Yen as she asked softly. Lin Yen felt a little conflicted. She really didn't deserve to be called sister-in-law. She had already declared that she was the future Mrs. Pei in front of so many people. It would be too pretentious of her to say no now. Hence, Lin Yen had no choice but to bite the bullet. Ahem. Yes, of course, sister-in-law, I heard from Xing Chen. If it hadn't been for you, I might never have been able to return to the Pei family. Ling Yu's eyes were filled with gratitude as she gazed at Lin Yen. Lin Yen was puzzled when she heard Ling Yu. What was so good about the Pei family? Or was it that important to Ling Yu? As for the job. If you can't do it, you can just find another one. Why do you have to suffer like this and suffer like this? If Lin Yan's job wasn't profitable or she wasn't happy, she would fire the boss without hesitation. Of course, if he could earn a lot of money, he could endure a little bit of anger. It didn't matter too much. I still don't know how to address you. Lin Yen grinned at Ling Yu. Sister-in-law, I'm Ling Yu. You can call me Xiaoya, replied Ling Yu. Xiaoya, I didn't do much. Besides, I promised Xing Chen, so there's no need to thank me. Lin Yen nodded. Miss Lin, no matter what, you're our benefactor. We will definitely repay you, Xing Chen told Lin Yan solemnly. Before Lin Yan could reply, Xing Chen added, Miss Lin, don't stand on ceremony. If you need anything, just tell Ling Yu and I. We will do our best to satisfy you. What do you need? Lin Yan rested her chin on her hand as she pondered. She didn't seem to need anything. Don't worry. Lin Yan shook her head. Miss Lin, you really don't have to stand on ceremony with us. What are you interested in? Asked Xing Chen. Do I really have to tell you? Lin Yan hesitated. Yeah. Xing Chen nodded. Money. Lin Yan stared at Xing Chen intently. Xing Chen's smile froze on his face when he heard Lin Yan. Xing Chen glanced at Ling Yu before he turned to Lin Yan solemnly. Miss Lin, money is just a worldly possession. You can't bring it with you when you're alive or when you're dead. I don't think you're that kind of person, so, before Xing Chen could finish, Lin Yan hastily shook her head and quipped, No, no, no. I'm an ordinary person. I'm very ordinary. Xing Chen stared at Lin Yan in silence for a few seconds before he turned to Ling Yu. Xiaoya, I just remembered that Qin Huan wants to hold a banquet for you. He has already booked a hotel and it's getting late. Didn't you say that Qin Huan had a mission out of town and would only be back in a few days? Ling Yu asked. Xing Chen, Lin Yan was speechless. Let's not disturb Miss Lin's rest. We'll come back later, Xing Chen said. Shut up. Can you stop being so stingy? Ling Yu furrowed her eyebrows. Oh. Xing Chen tactfully shut his mouth. Sister-in-law. Ling Yu's eyes darted back to Lin Yan as she asked eagerly, Sister-in-law, can I stay by your side? I can help you earn money. Chapter 710. Lin Yan was startled when she heard Ling Yu. Ling Yu wanted to stay by her side? She even said that she could help her earn money? Sister-in-law, brother, you said that if you're willing, I can stay by your side. Do you need a bodyguard? Ling Yu gazed at Lin Yan expectantly. Huh? Lin Yan was dumbfounded. She didn't need a bodyguard, right? She wasn't bragging. If she really wanted to fight, even a few strong men wouldn't be able to get close to her. Lin Yan had wanted to find a part-time job as a bodyguard, so she believed that she had the ability to become a private bodyguard. Miss Lin, Ling Yu is very strong and insane, Xing Chen quipped. Ling Yu glanced at Xing Chen. Who are you calling insane? Xing Chen hastily replied, That's not what I meant. I mean, your skills are insane. Xiaoya, I don't think I need a bodyguard. Lin Yan grinned awkwardly. What about a nanny? Ling Yu pondered for a moment before she pressed on. Lin Yan was speechless. She had been a bodyguard a moment ago, and now she had become a nanny. Wasn't this a huge leap in her career? Sister-in-law, if you don't need a nanny, an assistant is fine too. Oh yeah, aren't you an idol actress? I can be your assistant or manager, Ling Yu replied. Hold on. Lin Yan interrupted Ling Yu and shook her head. I'm not an idol actress. Then you are, a capable actress. Replied Lin Yan. Miss Lin, let Ling Yu stay by your side. Brother Yu has already agreed. We're just waiting for your decision, replied Xing Chen. Lin Yan pondered for a long time before she nodded. All right then. Since Pei Yuqing had spoken, Lin Yan didn't have any other choice. Besides, Ling Yu seemed cold and aloof, but she was too warm and friendly to her. Lin Yan had no choice but to accept her kindness. Xing Chen, this is none of your business. You can leave now. Ling Yu asked Xing Chen to leave quickly. Xing Chen was speechless. Xing Chen rubbed his nose and left. After Xing Chen left, only Lin Yan and Ling Yu were left in the room. Sister-in-law, I have a rough understanding of your situation. Before I came, I searched for a lot of information about you on the internet, Ling Yu said softly. Lin Yan was taken aback. Was he that professional? Before Lin Yan could reply, Ling Yu retrieved a notebook and flipped through it. Sister-in-law, Lin Shia is your enemy, right? Do you want to take revenge on her? Lin Yan glanced at Ling Yu in surprise. She knew about Lin Shia? What kind of devastating revenge? Asked Lin Yan curiously. Anything is fine. For example, vanishing from the world, Ling Yu said solemnly. The corners of Lin Yan's mouth twitched. Was she serious? Of course, if you don't want to vent your anger, we can pay her back in her own coin. We can hire a huge army to slander her. I'm very familiar with what's going on online. In fact, I'm very familiar with the entire entertainment industry, said Ling Yu after pondering for a moment. Without giving Lin Yan a chance to speak, Ling Yu turned on Lin Yan's computer and clicked on her Weibo page. Sister-in-law, you have a lot of votes for the charity ambassador election, Ling Yu told Lin Yan. Lin Yan strode forward and glanced at the screen. As expected, there were votes for this year's charity ambassador election on Weibo. Her votes were indeed heaven-defying. Chapter 711. Lin Yan studied Ling Yu curiously. This girl didn't seem to be as simple as she looked. Ling Yu, are you familiar with the industry? Asked Lin Yan. Ling Yu nodded and replied, yes, sister-in-law. Have you heard of Summit Entertainment? Lin Yan was startled. Of course she had heard of Summit Entertainment. She had signed a contract with Summit Entertainment not long ago, so she was considered an artist of Summit Entertainment. Yes, I have. Lin Yan nodded repeatedly. Sister-in-law, actually, I was the person in charge of Summit Entertainment in the beginning. Oh yeah, I used to have another name. It was I, replied Ling Yu. Lin Yan stood rooted to the ground in shock when she heard Ling Yu. What had she said? She was I. If Summit Entertainment had the status it had today, the mastermind behind the scenes, I, had played a huge role. It could be said that I had single-handedly propped up Summit Entertainment and brought it to its current position as the leader of the industry. However, AY had a lot of criticism in the industry. Actually, only a few people knew of ICE's existence. However, she had been the soul and core of Summit Entertainment back then. However, ICE's reputation hadn't been very good. She had been too ruthless and vicious, so even though Summit Entertainment had been at its peak, it had been hated by many other entertainment companies. In fact, many international Best Actress and Best Actor kings had also fallen at the hands of AY. As long as someone had offended I, she would send them into the abyss and they would never be able to reincarnate. Lin Yan had never imagined that the girl before her would be I, the demoness who had ruled over half of the entertainment industry. However, for some unknown reason, I had left Summit Entertainment and vanished without a trace. She had never been seen again. So, she had offended Miss Rong. Judging by Lin Yan's expression, Ling Yu knew that Lin Yan had heard of I. Ling Yu chuckled softly and said, sister-in-law, I was only managing the entertainment company. However, I offended some people and was forced to leave the Pei family. Thank you, sister-in-law, for allowing me to come back. Lin Yan couldn't help but sigh. Who had she offended? Ling Yu stared at the computer screen and said, sister-in-law, I did some calculations. Based on your popularity, it's impossible for you to get so many votes. I think that someone purposely gave you a lot of votes so that you could attend the charity event. Lin Yan couldn't deny this. Given her popularity, it would be normal for her to vote for the most evil actor in the entertainment industry. However, the votes for the charity event, however, if someone had purposely given her so many tickets, who could it be? Ordinary netizens definitely didn't have that kind of ability. Sister-in-law, the charity event is a good opportunity for you to improve yourself. You can also make friends. I think you should attend, Ling Yu told Lin Yan. Previously, Lin Yan hadn't thought about attending the charity gala. Her angel's shelter had been snatched away by Lin Shia, which meant that Lin Shia had gotten the slot instead. She hadn't expected that her votes would increase by so much. This ticket, Lin Yan fell into deep thought. Had Lin Xia done this? Chapter 712. Others might not understand Lin Xia, but Lin Yan knew her very well. Given Lin Xia's personality, it would be boring if she couldn't attend the charity event and witness Lin Xia's awe-inspiring performance. Angel's Shelter was supposed to be hers. If Lin Xia had gotten the tickets for her, Lin Yan would be able to understand and explain everything. Lin Xia was just trying to disgust her and make her suffer. Sister-in-law, the chairman of this year's event is someone with a powerful background. If you can get to know him, it will be beneficial to you. Ling Yu analyzed the situation for Lin Yan. Lin Yan was speechless. No wonder she had thought that Ling Yu was too professional. There was a reason why she was so professional. She was the boss of Summit Entertainment and the mastermind behind the scenes, Amy. Never in her wildest dreams had Lin Yan imagined that Amy would become her assistant, hence, she had stumbled upon a treasure. She leaped onto the somersault cloud in an instant. I suspect that Lin Xia was the one who obtained the tickets, Lin Yan said thoughtfully. Ling Yu wasn't surprised at all. She grinned and said, if that's the case. Sister-in-law, you were the one who founded Angel's Shelter, right? Lin Yan was dumbfounded when she heard Ling Yu. How could Ling Yu know about Angel's Shelter? How did you know? Lin Yan was puzzled. I don't know. Ling Yu shook her head. It's just a guess. Lin Xia has a grudge against you, so there's no reason for her to give you the right to attend the banquet. Unless she wants to make you feel uncomfortable and humiliated in front of everyone, she can only rely on Angel's Shelter to enter the charity event. Of course, we can't rule out the possibility that Lin Xia might find her conscience. However, the chances of that happening are too low. Lin Yan was speechless. What kind of brain was that? Perhaps I'm just like what the rumors say. Lin Yan chuckled softly. Ling Yu shook her head. Sister-in-law, you're not that kind of person. You have brother Yu. Unless you're blind, you wouldn't try to snatch Lin Xia's fiancé. Besides, you're the future madam of the Pei family. Summit Entertainment belongs to you, so what reason do you have to go around and snatch Lin Xia's things? Lin Yan had to admit that Amy lived up to her reputation. Even so, Angel's home might not have anything to do with me. What do you think? Lin Yan was still curious. Ling Yu thought for a while and said, well, it's very simple. First of all, sister-in-law, you like small animals. As she spoke, Ling Yu's gaze shifted to the 2 cat cages in the house. I heard from Xingchen that sister-in-law adopted 2 stray cats. Ling Yu pressed on. Lin Xia, on the other hand, went around framing your sister-in-law. She lied through her teeth and slandered you. She even pretended to be pitiful and aggrieved. Given her character, it's impossible to say that she is kind and compassionate. Even before she became a public figure, she spent a huge amount of money to establish Angel's Shelter. I think that's a fantasy. Lin Yan gave Ling Yu a thumbs up. Ling Yu was indeed impressive. She had been able to deduce so many things with just a few clues. She was indeed capable. Chapter 713. Also, not long ago, I used my previous network to look up some information about sister-in-law. According to the information, sister-in-law, you adopted some small animals many years ago, and then you went abroad. After connecting the dots, I concluded that you were the one who founded Angel's Shelter. After you left the country, you handed Angel's Shelter over to Lin Xia. Given Lin Xia's character, she would definitely use Angel's Shelter to boost her own popularity after she became a public figure. There was no way she would admit that Angel's Shelter belonged to you. Ling Yu continued her analysis. Are you the Pei family strategist? Lin Yan studied Ling Yu in astonishment. Ling Yu, who was taken aback, shook her head and replied softly, Sister-in-law, you think too highly of me. The Pei family isn't as simple as you think. Actually, the Pei family was very complicated, and they had a huge network of connections. Even Brother Yu and Brother Yu's father were just part of the Pei family. There are many experts in the Pei family, and there are many smart people. I'm insignificant and stupid. Lin Yan was dumbfounded. What had she just said? She was stupid? Lin Yan didn't know whether to laugh or cry. She was the demoness who had dominated the entertainment industry in the past. How could she be insignificant? Sister-in-law, do you want to know more about the Pei family? If you do, I can tell you, Lin Yu said gently, looking hopeful. She seemed to be hoping that she could help Lin Yan in some way. Lin Yan fell silent for a moment before she nodded. I don't know much about the Pei family. Sister-in-law, there are many people in the Pei family, and they belong to different factions. Brother Yu and his father belong to the same faction. Brother Yu's father also has many siblings, and they are divided into different factions. Actually, it's hard for me to explain. It's a little complicated. For example, Brother Yu's uncle and aunt have children who are very powerful. They all want to enter the core circle of the Pei family, including Brother Yu. However, Brother Yu is very outstanding, so many people ostracize him. Some even want to kill him. Lin Yan propped her chin on her hand and listened quietly. After some time, she finally got a rough idea. Pei Yucheng's grandfather had many children and grandchildren. These people, including Pei Yucheng, had wanted to enter the core circle of the Pei family but had failed. Pei Yucheng was outstanding, so he had a high chance of entering the core circle. Once he entered the core circle, his status would rise tremendously. Hence, some people didn't want Pei Yucheng to enter the core circle of the Pei family. They had tried to frame Pei Yucheng and even tried to kill him. Because of those people, Pei Yucheng and his father had drifted apart. Even Pei Yucheng's grandfather had begun to suspect that Pei Yucheng's motives were impure. Thus, he had exiled Pei Yucheng to the capital city. Lin Yan was in disbelief. She had never imagined that the Pei family would have such a complicated network. At that moment, Lin Yan suddenly felt that Pei Yucheng was quite pitiful. He was too outstanding, but he had been targeted everywhere. As a result, his relationship with his father had drifted apart, and his grandfather hadn't trusted him. He had even been exiled by the Pei family. Sister-in-law, actually. You look like someone I have met before. Ling Yu suddenly interrupted Lin Yan's thoughts. Chapter 714. Lin Yan's curiosity was piqued. Who is it? Ling Yu stared at Lin Yan's face and hesitated. In the end, she shook her head. Ahem. Nothing. Just an old friend. Oh yeah, sister-in-law. Ahem. Hold on. How about we change the way we address each other? After all, my relationship with Brother Yu isn't public, explained Lin Yan. Ling Yu nodded in agreement. Artists do have to be mindful of their privacy to avoid unnecessary trouble. Ling Yu deliberated for a moment before replying, then I shall call you Sister Yan. Sister Yan, do you have any plans for the charity ambassador election? Lin Shia deliberately voted for you and forced you to attend the charity banquet. She clearly wants you to witness how she's going to take over the things that belong to you. Ling Yu had finally changed the way she addressed Lin Yan, which made her feel more at ease. She shrugged and looked as though she had nothing to do with it. I'm not interested in being a charity ambassador. If I have the time, I should get more jobs and earn more money to buy dried fish for Cici and Wan Wan. She had founded Angel's Shelter to provide a home for stray animals. She hadn't done it for the glory or the title. Ling Yu, who seemed to have predicted Lin Yan's answer, sighed helplessly. Who would have thought that Lin Yan, who had been plagued by scandals and dreams of getting rich, would actually donate so much money to charity? Lin Yan coughed softly when she noticed that Ling Yu was staring at her. She felt a little uneasy. What's wrong? Ling Yu looked at her with admiration. I just think that Brother Yu has good taste. No wonder he likes you so much. Lin Yan was speechless. This was the first time someone had praised him for having good taste. To promote the annual charity gala, the China Charity Foundation had invited the previous national philanthropic ambassador, Gu Xinhan, and this year's most popular candidate, Lin Xia, to shoot a music video and a poster. Early the next morning, Lin Xia and her manager rushed to the studio to prepare for the shoot. On the way, Gu Xinhan's manager flipped through the schedule for today's shoot. When she confirmed that only Lin Xia would be appearing in the same frame as Gu Xinhan, her manager smiled at Lin Xia. "Xia, the charity foundation has only arranged for you and Gu Xinhan to film today. It seems like you will be the new charity ambassador this year." For the previous philanthropic ambassador to appear in the same frame at such a critical moment in the selection, the meaning behind it was self-evident. Lin Xia glanced at the scenery outside the window as a faint smile appeared on her exquisite face. "It's just a music video and a poster. The selection isn't over yet, so nothing has been decided." "How could it be undecided? Your votes are way ahead of the rest of the celebrities. I guess the headquarters have already recognized you as the charity angel. Otherwise, why would they invite Gu Xinhan to film the promotional video with you? Xia, you're too humble. Didn't you see the discussions online? Everyone thinks that you deserve to be the philanthropic ambassador this year," her manager said with a smile. Chapter 7:15. Given Lin Xia's current status, money was no longer of any value to her. If she wanted to climb up the social ladder, she would need a good reputation and influence. The charity ambassador selection competition was the perfect opportunity to do so. Both the public and society would be more than willing to cast their eyes on an artist who was passionate about charity. Lin Xia's commercial value would also soar. "It's just a discussion. It doesn't count." Lin Xia smiled faintly, as though she wasn't bothered by it at all. However, there was a glint in her eyes that made her look even more indifferent. "Why doesn't it count?" "The selection of the charity ambassador depends on the votes of the public. You established Angel's Shelter when you were in your teens, so your achievements are well known. On the other hand, your sister, Lin Yan, made a last-minute effort to compete for the title of the philanthropic ambassador. When she saw that you had established Angel's Shelter, she made a last-minute effort to imitate you. She even got an expensive ragdoll to put on a show." What a joke. Did she really think that charity was that easy? You have no idea how badly the netizens are scolding her. She doesn't even know how to use her brain to put on a show. Lin Yan's manager chuckled. Her manager was amused by the scolding that Lin Yan had posted on Weibo. They were sisters, but why was there such a huge disparity between them? Lin Yan was trying to imitate Lin Xia. She had shamelessly claimed that Han Yishuan was her boyfriend, but now, she was acting like a clown. Why didn't she take a look at herself first? How could she pretend to be a philanthropist overnight? Lin Xia had established Angel's Shelter before she had entered the entertainment industry. She had dedicated her life to it for many years, not for fame or profit. When Lin Xia heard her manager's sarcasm, her eyes gleamed with amusement. However, she looked as though she had been put in a spot. "Don't say that. She is my sister after all." Lin Xia sighed heavily as she tried to suppress her emotions. Lin Xia's manager, who noticed that Lin Xia still cared about her sisterly ties, remarked, "Xia, you're too kind. Why did you vote for Lin Yan? All the contestants are trying their best to get votes. You're the only one who was kind enough to give her your vote. If it weren't for you, she wouldn't even have qualified." Lin Xia laughed bitterly and didn't say anything. She turned her head slightly and pretended to look at the scenery outside the window. A smile gradually appeared in her eyes, tearing apart her previous facade of indifference and helplessness. She hadn't expected that the mess Lin Yan had thrown at her would help her so much. When she had just started her career, her identity as the founder of Angel's Shelter had brought her a lot of glory and convenience. She had gained a good reputation and gained popularity. She had been crowned the national angel. He had thought that this was the last value of Angel's Shelter. Little did he expect, now, with this identity, she had managed to squeeze her way into the charity circle that was hard to enter. She had even obtained the title of philanthropy ambassador, something that countless celebrities had fought so hard to obtain. Just the fact that she was a member of Angel's Shelter was enough for her to crush all the other celebrities and garner a large number of votes. She was far ahead in terms of votes. Furthermore, the charity foundation had arranged for her to collaborate with Gu Xinhan. It seemed like she would definitely be the philanthropy ambassador. End of this chapter. Chapter 7:16. The director and cameraman were busy directing the crew to set up the set. There were many cats and dogs that had been brought over from Angel's Shelter to interact with the actors. Gu Xinhan had already arrived. She was surrounded by a group of cats and dogs, and it was a lively scene. Sister Han. Shiya, you're here. Gu Xinhan was carrying a kitten in her arms as she greeted Lin Shiya with a smile. Gu Xinhan's looks weren't eye-catching among the other actresses, but she had a gentle aura that made her seem approachable. The kitten in her arms was a little mischievous. It wasn't very cooperative as it struggled to move its paws. Ouch! Gu Xinhan yelped as a few red scratches appeared on the back of her hand. The director and crew crowded around her anxiously. Xinhan. Are you alright? How are you? Are you hurt? What's wrong with this cat? It's too fierce. Why didn't you choose a more obedient one? Lin Shiya rushed over to greet her. Sister Han, are you alright? Gu Xinhan hurried to explain. I'm fine. It's just a small injury. Don't be nervous. Don't blame the kitten. I was careless and scared it. Sister Han, you're too gentle. Lin Shiya chuckled. Gu Xinhan grinned. Because they are really cute. I think everyone will be gentle in front of them. Lin Shiya's manager whispered into Lin Shiya's ear, no wonder Gu Xinhan became the charity angel last year. She really knows how to portray herself. Portray herself? What do you mean? Lin Shiya looked confused. Her manager exclaimed, Shiya, do you really think that Gu Xinhan is like what she appears to be? You're probably the only naive one. To be able to get to her position, which one of them was a simple person? She isn't like you, who genuinely loves charity and doesn't care about fame and fortune. You entered the industry late, so you don't know that she was involved in a scandal many years ago. In the end, she relied on charity work to clear her name. Eventually, she became the charity angel. But Sister Han seems to really like small animals. Lin Shiya was puzzled. The manager looked helpless. No wonder Chairman Lin was worried about you and told me to take good care of you. You're just too naive. Lin Shiya hid the shrewdness in her eyes. She put on an obedient expression and didn't say anything. Soon, the filming began. Because they needed the cooperation of small animals, the entire shooting was not very smooth. It was not an exaggeration to say that it was a mess. Fortunately, Gu Xinhan and Lin Shiya were very cooperative and patient. In the end, after shooting for a whole day, they finally finished shooting. Alright. Done. Xian Han, Shiya, thank you for your hard work. Very good. The director has worked hard. Everyone has worked hard as well. After filming, the crew packed up their props and left in 2s and 3s. Gu Xinhan is so gentle. Those kittens and puppies almost hurt her a few times just now. She's not even angry. Yeah. Lin Shiya, too. She's so patient with animals. No wonder she's the charity angel. She's so kind. Actually, I like Lin Shiya more than Gu Xinhan. Gu Xinhan has a persona, but Lin Shiya is different. I heard that before she entered the entertainment industry, she had already started doing charity work. She really likes small animals and is passionate about charity. Chapter 7:17. Meanwhile, in Gu Xinhan's makeup room, Gu Xinhan was holding a kitten in her arms as she spoke to the director. It's so cute. I can't bear to part with it. Can I play with it for a while longer? Haha. There's no rush. Shinhan, you can play with it for a while longer. I'll get someone to send it back later. Thank you so much, Director. Gu Shinhan replied happily. It's just a small matter. Shinhan, remove your makeup first. I won't disturb you any longer. I'm going to look at the final product. All right. The director pushed the door open and left. Only Gu Shinhan's assistant, manager, and makeup artist were left in the makeup room. The moment the director left, Gu Shinhan tossed the kitten in her arms onto the floor. It's so dirty. Hurry. Give me the disinfectant. Her assistant hurriedly handed her the disinfectant and disinfectant. Gu Shinhan wiped her hands with the disinfectant and sprayed the disinfectant on herself. She glared at the kitten and kicked it. How dare this wild kitten scratch me? Her manager comforted her softly. Shinhan, you have to suffer a little for the sake of the shoot. In any case, the effect of this MV and photo promotion is still very good. Gu Shinhan snorted coldly. If it weren't for this, do you think I would be willing to hold these filthy kittens in my arms? Hurry. Help me get this wild kitten out. What Gu Shinhan didn't know was that Lin Xia, who was standing at the door, had witnessed the entire scene. However, Lin Xia didn't look surprised at all. Instead, it was as if she had expected it. Her lips curved into a faint smile. Lin Xia waited outside the door for a while before she walked in. Gu Shinhan's assistant walked out with the cat in her hand and bumped into Lin Xia. She froze and hurriedly hugged the cat. She coughed softly and said, Sister Xia, are you here to see Sister Han? Yeah. Is Sister Han here? Yes, she is removing her makeup. Lin Xia nodded and pretended not to know anything as she walked into the room. Sister Han. Xia, are you done with your filming? Gu Shinhan regained her usual gentle and courteous expression. Lin Xia nodded. Yeah. The last scene is done. Why are you looking for me? Gu Shinhan asked. Lin Xia placed a red gift box on Gu Shinhan's dressing table and said casually, It's nothing important. I just heard that you wanted to bid for a necklace at the auction last week. Gu Shinhan's face darkened as she recalled the necklace that had been won by another seller. She especially liked that necklace. It was a perfect match for her favorite dress. Unfortunately, she didn't have enough money at that time. In the end, it was bought by someone else. Because of this, she was depressed for a few days. However, why did she mention this? As Gu Shinhan pondered this, she noticed that Lin Xia had placed a gift box on the table. Inside the box was the necklace that she had missed out on at the auction. Why do you have this necklace? Gu Shinhan was shocked. Lin Xia chuckled softly. I found this necklace by chance. I heard that it was your favorite item, so I brought it here to give it to you. Chapter 718. For me? Gu Shinhan's eyes lit up, but she looked like she was in a difficult position. This. Xia, it's too expensive. I can't accept it. Lin Xia grinned. Sister Han, this necklace doesn't suit me. It would be a waste if I kept it. Only someone with your elegance is compatible with it. Why don't you give it to the person who suits it the most? Besides, it's your birthday next month. Just take it as a birthday gift from me. Sister Han, if you don't accept it, you're treating me like an outsider. Lin Xia's words were beautiful. She had praised Gu Shinhan and given Gu Shinhan an excuse to accept the gift. As expected, Gu Shinhan finally relented. All right then, I'll accept it. Xia, thank you. You're so thoughtful. Sister Han, you don't have to stand on ceremony with me. I still have to thank you for guiding me in the filming. It's my first time filming a music video, so I don't know anything. Luckily, you helped me out. Lin Xia looked humble. Gu Shinhan was in a good mood. She closed the necklace and grinned. Shia, don't be so humble. If someone else were to take over my position, I might not be convinced. However, if it's you, not just me, but everyone else will be convinced. I believe that everyone will be convinced by your abilities. You just lack some experience and connections. Gu Xinhan knew Lin Shia's status. She wasn't just the daughter of Triumph Entertainment. She was also the future young madam of the Gu Corporation. Of course, she wanted to befriend her. In that case, why not make use of this opportunity? Gu Xinhan pondered for a moment before she said, "Oh yeah, Shia. There's a dinner party tomorrow night. Why don't you come with me? There will be many reputable philanthropists there. President Cheng will be there too. I'll introduce her to you." Lin Shia's eyes lit up when she heard Cheng Ximin's name. However, she pretended to be surprised. Are you referring to Cheng Ximin, the vice president of the Charity Association? Gu Xinhan looked smug. That's right. It's hard to meet Vice President Cheng, but I'll introduce you to her. It shouldn't be a problem. Lin Shia's face lit up with excitement. Really? Thank you so much, Sister Han. I've always admired Vice President Cheng. It's a pity that we never had the chance to meet. Cheng Min was the daughter of Cheng Jingxiu, the president of the Charity Foundation. Cheng Jingxiu had dedicated her life to charity, and Cheng Min had inherited her mother's legacy. She was decisive and resolute in her actions. She had also been active in the field of charity and had taken up the position of vice president. Due to the poor health of her mother, Cheng Jingxiu, Cheng Min had now completely taken over the affairs of the charity headquarters and was now the person in charge of the charity headquarters. Lin Shia had always wanted to get close to Cheng Min. However, it was a pity that even the big shots in the business world couldn't meet Cheng Min, let alone an artist like her. She had looked for many people to build a relationship with Cheng Ximin, but none of them succeeded. Gu Xinhan replied, I was lucky enough to get to know Vice President Cheng because I was the charity ambassador last year. Don't worry, I will bring you along. You don't have to be nervous. Besides, it's almost certain that you will be the charity ambassador this year. Lin Shia blushed and replied humbly, there are still a few days before the voting closes. Chapter 719. Lin Shia glanced at Gu Xinhan, who was beside her. She was determined to win this year's charity ambassador. Other than that, Lin Shia also wanted to use Gu Xinhan to get in touch with the vice president. Chen Min and her mother were very famous and had a wide network of connections. Although they weren't in the industry, everyone knew who they were. Cheng Min's mother, in particular, had devoted her entire life to charity and was very famous. Lin Shia had wanted to get to know Cheng Min, the vice president. However, she had heard that Cheng Min was difficult to get along with and hated that sort of thing. Hence, Lin Shia hadn't acted rashly. Frankly speaking, she hadn't had the chance to get close to Cheng Min. However, things were different this time. If Gu Xinhan could introduce her to Cheng Min, it would be natural for her to get close to Cheng Min. Oh yeah, Sister Xinhan. Are you close to President Cheng Min? Lin Shia asked Gu Xinhan with a smile on her face. Gu Xinhan nodded and replied, I can't say that we are very close. We only interact because of some charity work. President Cheng Min isn't an easy person to get along with, but we are on good terms. Lin Shia nodded thoughtfully. Shia, don't worry. I will introduce you to her, Gu Xinhan assured her. Lin Shia put on a smile and thanked Gu Xinhan. Cloud Manor Lin Yen had been observing her Weibo votes. Based on her current numbers, she was definitely going to attend the charity event. Other than the increase in votes, the number of criticisms had also increased. Braised Pork and Cabbage had commented, Lin Yen is too shameless. First, she created a ragdoll to show off at the charity event. No one paid attention to her. Now, she is trying to manipulate the votes. I don't believe that anyone will vote for Lin Yen. Who voted for her? Step forward and show us. Cute girl in autumn had commented, "What a joke. Who would vote for her?" Anyone with a discerning eye would know that the votes aren't right. I have followed several real philanthropists, but their votes aren't even a fraction of her votes. This woman is willing to do anything just to show her face at the charity event. She wants to keep up with Shia. Stop dreaming. She's not even fit to wipe Shia's shoes. Shia founded Angel's Shelter before she even debuted. Everyone knows that she's beautiful and kind. She's definitely going to be the philanthropic ambassador this year. What's so great about this woman? She's nothing but a showboat. It would have been fine if she had wanted to imitate Shia's charity work. However, she created a rag doll as a showboat. Since her showboat didn't work, she made an issue out of the votes. Even novels wouldn't dare to write such a disgusting woman like her. Lin Yen petted the cat as she scrolled through the comments. Her black sweater was covered in white fur. "Sis, should we control the comments?" Ling Yu, who was scrolling through her phone, asked Lin Yen. Lin Yen snapped back to her senses and shook her head with a smile. "It's fine. This is normal. I'm used to it." Nowadays, Lin Yen wouldn't be able to get used to it if someone didn't scold her. "I think Lin Xia is behind this." Ling Yu was deep in thought. Chapter 720. Lin Yen stood up and placed 1,000 bags of money and prosperous in their respective cages. Then, she used a sticky ball to remove the fur on her body. "I know." Lin Yen glanced at Ling Yu and chuckled softly. Other than Lin Xia, no one else would have done this. This is her normal behavior. Ling Yu pondered this for some time before her lips curled into a smile. "Sister, actually, this is a good opportunity for you." Lin Yen nodded slightly. "I understand what you mean. First of all, if she was able to enter a place like the charity gala, it would only be good for her and not bad for her. Furthermore, her reputation on the internet was already bad enough. It didn't matter how she managed to qualify for the charity gala. Even if someone splashed a bowl of ink on her, she wouldn't be as bad as she was right now." Lin Yen understood what Ling Yu meant. To put it bluntly, Angel's Shelter had nothing to do with Lin Xia. She had founded it herself many years ago. If she could make use of this charity gala to uncover the ins and outs of Angel's Shelter, that would be the most interesting part of it all. Lin Yen had thought about this a long time ago. However, it would be difficult to prove that Lin Xia had stolen Angel's Shelter from her. There were still a few more days before the charity event, so Lin Yen wasn't in a hurry. Lin Yen wanted to ask Ling Yu about the charity event. After all, Ling Yu had been a prominent figure in the industry, so she would definitely know more than her. However, Ling Yu suddenly retracted her gaze when Lin Yan's eyes landed on Ling Yu. Lin Yen frowned when she sensed Ling Yu's unusual behavior. In the past few days that Ling Yu had been by her side, Lin Yen had noticed that Ling Yu seemed to have something on her mind when she looked at her. Lin Yen was puzzled. Before Xing Chen had brought Ling Yu back, she hadn't had much interaction with Ling Yu. "Do I have money on my face?" Lin Yen asked Ling Yu. Ling Yu raised her head to look at Lin Yen. Ling Yu chuckled softly and replied, "No, I just feel that you, what about me?" Lin Yen was curious. Ever since the first time Ling Yu saw her, she had said that she looked like a certain someone, but she had kept her mouth shut. Ling Yu pondered for a moment before shaking her head. Impossible. Lin Yen couldn't be her. How could such a woman appear in China? How could she become Pei Yucheng's woman? That person had disappeared long ago. The greatest possibility was that he was dead. That's right, that woman in my impression is too crazy, high and mighty, and disregards everything. From the very beginning, she had been inquiring about the whereabouts of that person at every moment, every minute, and every second. But in the end, she had found nothing. She was only the most inconspicuous one among the tens of thousands of elites, and the missions she did were also the lowest of the low. In fact, he had only seen that high and mighty woman once by chance. Ling Yu could still remember the coldness and arrogance in her eyes. She was creating her ideal world, however, who would have thought that such a person would disappear many years ago? Moreover, he had never appeared in this world again. Chapter 721. Many years ago, Lin Yan had only heard that this person seemed to be planning something in secret and had put it into action. After that, she had vanished without a trace. Given Ling Yu's status, there was no way she could get in touch with that person. She couldn't possibly know what she was planning or what she had done. Not only had that woman disappeared, but a few of her confidants had also gone missing. Initially, Ling Yu hadn't believed that that person would die. However, there had been no news of that person. Thus, Ling Yu had slowly accepted reality. That insufferably arrogant woman must have died after experiencing a major accident. At first, Ling Yu hadn't been able to receive that person's instructions. She had even lost herself and didn't know what she should do. However, now, she had become a member of the Pei family and led an ordinary life. She had left that unfathomable circle. Perhaps, she could accept it. Ling Yu had even forgotten about her past until she had met Lin Yan. Lin Yan was indeed very similar to the woman in her memory. However, Ling Yu had only met that person once many years ago. It had only been a few seconds. If Ling Yu were to describe that woman's appearance, she might not be able to remember it. She had been living in a circle that ordinary people couldn't imagine. She had been adopted by that woman's subordinates and had been working for that woman ever since she could remember. All these years, she had been homeless. Xiaoye? Lin Yan spoke softly when she noticed that Ling Yu had fallen silent. Ling Yu snapped back to her senses and turned to look at the girl in front of her. Indeed, how could this girl be that arrogant and haughty person? She was easy to get along with. She didn't put on any airs. She could even be good friends with her. Friends. If she was that person, how could she treat her as a friend? She was like the sun, moon, and stars, while she was like dust. The difference between them was huge. Sister, it's really nothing. When I first met you, I just felt that you resembled someone. Ling Yu glanced at Lin Yan and chuckled softly. Someone? Lin Yan studied Ling Yu. Is it someone you know? Ling Yu fell into deep thought. She was just one of that person's subordinates. She couldn't be considered to be familiar with her. Ling Yu immediately shook her head. Of course not. That person is a super demon. Lin Yan felt a little helpless when she heard Ling Yu. So you think that I'm a super demon? Sorry, she's not worthy. Sister, you are indeed a super demon in a certain circle, Ling Yu said thoughtfully. Ah. Lin Yan was taken aback, as she had no idea what Ling Yu was referring to. The famous Yeva. Ling Yu chuckled softly. Lin Yan glanced at Ling Yu in surprise. How did she know? How could Ling Yu know his identity so clearly? Sister, I'm actually an excellent intelligence agent. My intelligence network is spread all over the world. Ling Yu smiled faintly. All over the world? Is the Pei family that powerful? Lin Yan was startled. If that was the case, wouldn't Pei Yutong and Pei Yuqing have known about her identity? Chapter 722. Lin Yan raised her doubts. Fortunately, Ling Yu said that she was the only one who had access to the information. She wouldn't divulge it to anyone else. According to Ling Yu, Pei Yuqing had never used Ling Yu's intelligence network to investigate her. Why did Pei Yuqing trust her so much? She had thought that, given Pei Yuqing's status, it wouldn't be surprising if he had investigated his girlfriend's family history. At a charity event, Lin Shia had arrived at the scene a long time ago. She quietly observed the woman standing not far from her. Qingmin was dressed in a black suit and had short hair. She looked smart and capable as she chatted with the directors of the charity organization. Just as the rumors had said, Qingmin was a workaholic. She had just flown back from City S and had to rush to the next event. The charity ambassador election was imminent, and there were a few other popular candidates besides Lin Xia. Lin Xia noticed that apart from her, there were two other candidates with high votes who were present tonight. Lin Xia didn't think much of them. After all, given her votes, there was no doubt that she would win. Her target tonight was Qingmin. If she could gain Qingmin's support, it would be equivalent to gaining official recognition. It would be a great help to her future development. Gu Xinhan, who was standing next to her, cast a disdainful glance at the two candidates. Do they think they can get close to Vice President Cheng? Lin Xia replied humbly, but Sister Ling and Sister Xian have high votes too. They were still crushed by you. Their votes combined are less than half of yours. Just like your sister, they're just putting on a show. How could Vice President Cheng like people like them? Didn't you see Vice President Cheng's attitude when they went to hit on her just now? As Gu Xinhan spoke, she kept an eye on Qingmin. When she saw that Qingmin had finished her conversation with the directors, she hurriedly reminded Lin Xia, "Xia, follow me." Lin Xia hurriedly followed Gu Xinhan to Qingmin, Sister Qingmin. Gu Xinhan greeted her respectfully. When Qingmin saw Gu Xinhan, she nodded at her. Although she didn't look enthusiastic, her attitude toward the other two actresses was better than before. I've talked to my agent's company about the charity event that Chairman Shui mentioned last time. Our company is very supportive of it. I'll do my best to help. When Gu Xinhan started talking about work, Qingmin's expression became more focused as she started to discuss the details with her. The other two artistes watched enviously as Qingmin and Gu Xinhan conversed. Gu Xinhan has spent more time and energy on charity than she has on acting. It's no wonder that Vice President Cheng treats her differently. What special treatment? Do you think Vice President Cheng doesn't know what she's thinking? After chatting for a while, Gu Xinhan sensed that the atmosphere had calmed down. She pulled Lin Xia aside and introduced her. Sister Qingmin, this is an actress from Triumph Entertainment. Her name is Lin Xia. She came in first in this year's charity angel election. Qingmin glanced at Lin Xia from the corner of her eyes. She nodded her head and didn't pay much attention to her. Chapter 723. In recent years, more and more people in the entertainment industry had begun to use charity to gain fame and fortune. The charity ambassador election had also become more and more commercialized. No matter what these celebrities were doing was beneficial to charity. Although Qingmin had never publicly expressed her opinion, she didn't like it. Hence, when Gu Xinhan mentioned that Lin Xia had won the election, Qingmin didn't react. Lin Xia furrowed her brows when she realized this as well. Qingmin was indeed not easy to get close to. Gu Xinhan had promised to introduce Lin Xia to Qingmin, so she couldn't help feeling awkward when she saw Qingmin's nonchalant attitude. Gu Xinhan continued, Xia is the daughter of Triumph Entertainment's chairman, Lin Yuetong. Her fiancé is the young master of the Han Corporation, Han Yishuan. He has been very supportive of charity work. Oh yes, Xia is also the person in charge of Angel's Shelter. Qingmin's expression had remained indifferent throughout Gu Xinhan's introduction. When Gu Xinhan mentioned Angel's Shelter, Qingmin's expression changed slightly. She muttered, Angel's Shelter. Gu Xinhan's eyes lit up when she noticed Qingmin's interest. She smiled and said, yeah. Qingmin glanced at Lin Xia. Are you the person in charge of Angel's Shelter? This was the first time Qingmin had taken the initiative to talk to her. Lin Xia calmed herself down and replied, yes. Qingmin's expression softened as she said, my mother loves cats and puppies. She has mentioned Angel's Shelter to me. Both Lin Xia and Gu Xinhan were taken aback when they heard this. Qingmin's mother was the president of the charity organization? President Cheng? Lin Xia hadn't expected the old president to mention Angel's Shelter. If Qingmin was the person in charge of the charity organization, then her mother, President Cheng Jingqiu, was the most influential person in the charity industry. Although she hadn't appeared in public for many years due to her health issues, and she had left most of her work to Qingmin, she was still very popular in the charity industry. Lin Xia had only wanted to show her face in front of Qingmin. She hadn't expected to receive such a pleasant surprise. Qingmin nodded. Because of your passion, the charity industry is able to continue. On behalf of the charity organization, I would like to thank you for your support. This time, Qingmin actually changed her cold attitude from before and became much warmer. Lin Xia suppressed the smugness in her heart and didn't let it show on her face. Vice President Cheng, you're overpraising me. This is what I should do. The conversation between Qingmin and Lin Xia was overheard by many people. When the others saw how much Qingmin appreciated Lin Xia, they chimed in. Angel's Shelter isn't just the first in the country. It is also the largest and most comprehensive animal rescue organization. Miss Lin has put in a lot of effort to establish it. Xia is the philanthropic ambassador this year. She's fully deserving of the title. Gu Xinhan heaved a sigh of relief. Not only had she done Lin Xia a favor, but she had also helped Qingmin. She hadn't expected that Lin Xia would catch the attention of the old president. Gu Xinhan couldn't help feeling a little envious. Why hadn't she thought of starting a charity organization earlier? However, this kind of organization was cumbersome and expensive. She definitely did not have the mood to spend so much time and money. Chapter 724. Oh yeah, Sister Qingmin. Will the old president attend the charity angel election next week? Gu Xinhan probed. Qingmin replied, my mother's health isn't good. She hasn't attended events in a long time. This time, I should attend on her behalf. Gu Xinhan nodded in understanding. Her health is more important. Although Lin Xia was a little disappointed that the old president couldn't attend the event personally, Qingmin's words had put her halfway into the charity circle. Lin Xia remained humble and polite. Actually, when I first started Angel's Shelter, I didn't think too much about it. Even now, I just hope that the little animals can have a home. Shakespeare said that compassion isn't forced. It falls from the sky like dew. It's for those who are happy to receive it and those who are happy to give it. I'm doing all these things because I'm happy. Qingmin sighed heavily. Over the years, there have been more and more unhealthy practices. It's rare to see someone as pure as Miss Lin. I'm just a weak light. There are many seniors like Sister Xinhan and people like the old president who are full of love. Lin Xia complimented Gu Xinhan and the old president. Not only did she win Qingmin's favor, but the reporters and philanthropists were also full of praise. Lin Xia's eyes darted around as she continued, there are indeed more unhealthy practices these days. However, there are only a few people who take advantage of the situation. The entertainment industry despises such people. Qingmin had also heard some rumors recently. Her expression was solemn. The most important thing about charity is credibility. It's the same for the charity angel election. The chairman beside her nodded hurriedly. Vice President Cheng, don't worry. I will strengthen the supervision and make sure that it's fair and just. After the charity event, news of Lin Xia being praised by Qingmin after a charity event and being favored by the elderly president spread like wildfire on the internet. In an instant, Lin Xia's popularity skyrocketed. At the same time, Lin Xia and Gu Xinhan's promotional video was released. The internet was full of praise for it. Ah! Today is the day I fell head over heels for Xia. How can there be such a beautiful and kind little angel like Xia? Even the official trailer is out. Xia is definitely going to be the charity angel this time. Of course. Even Vice President Cheng of the Charity Association has complimented Xia. Even the old president knows about Xia's Angel's Shelter. At the same time, Lin Yan's act of showing off and manipulating votes was once again pushed to the forefront of the storm. Her fans and the public were collectively boycotting her. F***ck me. I can't take it anymore. How could there be someone as shameless as Lin Yan? It's bad enough that she leached off Shuya's popularity. Now, she's shamelessly using charity to clear her name. She doesn't deserve to do charity work. She's tarnishing the word charity. Who would be blind to vote for her? Did the officials not care about such blatant manipulation of votes? How can you allow such a person to remain on the rankings without disqualifying her? Many fans had tagged the organizers' official website, demanding that they investigate Lin Yan's votes and disqualify her from the competition. In addition, Qingmin had personally reminded the organizers at the charity event that day, so they attached great importance to it. Chapter 725. Meanwhile, in Zhao Hongling's office, Duo was fuming as she read the unsightly comments online. F***ck. Is there something wrong with her? Lin Shuya is too cunning. She directed and acted to buy votes for Sister Yen and then reported her. How could Sister Yen do something like that? Lin Yen was touched by Duo's trust in her. She was about to retort when Duo added, she is so stingy. How could she spend money to buy votes? Lin Yen was speechless. Zhao Hongling's expression was solemn as she said solemnly, what I'm most worried about has happened. The situation isn't looking good. If the officials decide that you have cheated, it will be a huge stain on your reputation. Lin Yen was well aware of this. Previously, there had been a famous actor who had cheated donations. His reputation had plummeted and he had yet to recover. Is there no way to clear your name? Duo asked anxiously. Zhao Hongling shook her head. It's difficult. Given Lin Yan's current reputation, no one would believe her words. Lin Yan grinned. That's good. Then I won't have to attend the charity event next week. I won't have to pay for my makeup. Zhao Hongling didn't know whether to praise Lin Yan for being so carefree or to praise her for her good attitude. Zhao Hongling analyzed the situation helplessly. Lin Yan, don't underestimate the impact of this incident. This scandal will affect you more than all the scandals you've had in the past. It's normal to have scandals in the entertainment industry. However, if you cheated at a charity event, you will be blacklisted by the media. It will be a huge blow to your career. As Zhao Hongling was worrying, Duo stared at her phone with a pale face. It's over. The organizers have made an announcement. Zhao Hongling hurriedly opened the official blog. Indeed, the official Weibo account had announced that Lin Yan's votes were abnormal. She had been banned from voting and had been disqualified from the competition. Zhao Hongling hadn't expected that the organizers would be so swift and decisive. They hadn't given her any time to do anything. Once the official blog was published, this matter was sealed. Lin Yan would have a permanent stain on her reputation. The office fell into a state of panic. What should we do? Toto asked anxiously. Zhao Hongling pinched the space between her eyebrows. This kind of thing actually happens every year. It's done by artist studios, and it's done by fans. In the past, the officials basically turned a blind eye to it. I didn't expect them to directly remove it this time. Maybe the higher-ups gave the order. Zhao Hongling recalled the recent news that Vice President Sheng of the Charity Association valued Lin Shuya. How could she not understand? Duo sighed. It's because Sister Yen is too evil. Everyone supported the organizers' decision, so they didn't have any qualms. If it had been some other artist with fans, the organizers would have had to think twice. Lin Yan couldn't refute Duo's words. The fans she had gained from acting as Lin Pianruo were nothing compared to her huge number of haters. As soon as the official announcement came out, the anti-fans on the internet immediately started beating drums and gongs. Lin Yan has been disqualified. Ha 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 ha, I'm going out to set off a string of firecrackers. How satisfying. The organizers did a good job. We can't let this kind of person tarnish the holy land of charity. I almost died of disgust at the thought of Lin Yan and Shia being nominated together. Fortunately, there is justice in this world. Lin Yan was amused by the comments. Right from the beginning, she had never intended to participate in this charity event. In the end, she had been disqualified. End of chapter. Chapter 726. Zhao Hongling's head throbbed as she stared at the announcement. In less than half an hour, the announcement had become the hottest topic on the internet. The trending topics were Lin Yan's show, Lin Yan's votes falsified, and Lin Yan disqualified from charity ambassador. Lin Yan was once again vilified by the netizens. Zhao Hongling clung to a last glimmer of hope as she contacted the company she had been working on. Lin Yan had been performing well recently, and Zhao Hongling had helped her secure an advertisement for a pet product brand. She was just a step away from signing the contract. Now that this had happened, she was afraid that Zhao Hongling dialed the number. Hello, Director Sunday, Manager Zhao. What's up? Nothing urgent. I just wanted to know when we will be signing the contract. Lin Yan's schedule is full this month. If you can book a date in advance, it will be easier for me to arrange it, Zhao Hongling replied tactfully. At this moment, the advertising agent changed his previous attitude and said with a laugh, "Oh, no rush, no rush." Lin Yan received a text message from Ling Yu. It was a message from Ling Yu. Sister Yan, your manager helped you secure an advertisement for a pet product. The company has signed a contract with Triumph Entertainment. Ling Yu was Pei Yuqing's woman, so Lin Yan didn't want to trouble her. Hence, Ling Yu would only send her updates from time to time. Based on Ling Yu's investigative skills, Lin Yan knew that the truth had to be true. Zhao Hongling tried to rush her several times, but the other party seemed to be getting impatient. She sneered coldly and hissed, "Why are you in such a hurry? Do you really need an advertisement? We are a legitimate company, and we are very strict with our artists. How can they be so fast? Just wait and see. If you can't afford to wait, you can look for someone else." After saying that, the other party hung up the phone with a snap. F***CK. This person changed his attitude too quickly. Earlier on, he had called her Sister Yan and even asked for her autograph. He said that Lin Pianruo and Yeva were his goddesses. Duo spat angrily. Ever since Sister Yan's meeting one's match had become popular, she had signed with Summit Entertainment, and she had joined the production team of Legend. Her resources had improved tremendously, and many advertisers had approached her. She hadn't expected that the other party would change so quickly. "I'll try again later," Zhao Hongling muttered. Lin Yan glanced at Zhao Hongling. "Sister Ling, don't bother. The artist has already signed a contract with Triumph Entertainment." "What? How did you know?" Zhao Hongling was slightly surprised. Lin Yan hadn't told Zhao Hongling about Ling Yu yet. She coughed softly and said, "It's a friend's channel. It shouldn't be a problem." Zhao Hongling was momentarily taken aback when she heard Lin Yan. However, she realized that it was within her expectations. However, wasn't the other party a little too much? Since he had already found someone else, he should have just said it directly. Yet, he purposely hid it from them and left them hanging. Wasn't he just toying with them? This advertisement was just the beginning. Lin Yan's future collaborations would be affected, meanwhile. In a quiet courtyard on the outskirts of the imperial capital, Qingmin took off her shoes and entered the house. An old lady was sitting on a bamboo rattan chair in the living room. The old lady was knitting a sweater with a ball of red yarn in her hand. "Mom. You're back. I've heated some chicken soup for you on the stove. Go and drink some. You've been so busy all day that you don't even know how to take care of yourself," the old lady nagged. End of chapter. Chapter 727. Qingmin went to the kitchen and scooped a bowl of chicken soup. As she drank, she chatted with her mother. Mom, guess who I met today? Who? Didn't you always mention Angel's Shelter to me? I met the person in charge of Angel's Shelter today. That girl was chosen as the charity ambassador this year, Qingmin said. The old lady's eyes lit up with warmth. She smiled and said, "Oh, it's Xiaolin. Xiaolin is a good girl. When I wanted to start Angel's Shelter, all of you were worried about my health and didn't allow me to do anything. Luckily, Xiaolin helped me. She's only a teenager, but she helped me with everything. She contributed money and effort, and she never complained. I like her, and so do the cats and dogs." She was chosen as the charity ambassador. Can she be chosen? This was the first time Qingmin had seen the old lady compliment someone. She chuckled. Mom, the selection of the charity ambassador has to be fair and just. It's all based on the charity's achievements. You can't get in through the back door. As long as Xiaolin does well, she will be chosen. The old lady smiled proudly. I'm not trying to get in through the back door. That girl doesn't need me to do that for her. The old lady clasped her hands behind her back and returned to her room. Qingmin shook her head and glanced at the old lady helplessly. She knew her mother's temperament. If it weren't for her poor health these past few years, she could just go out and say something, and the ambassador would definitely be Xiaolin's. There would be no need to use the voting system to elect her. However, the old lady was right. That girl didn't need to get in through the back door. Upstairs, in the old lady's room, there was a huge black cat lying on the windowsill. When it saw the old lady, it meowed lazily. The old lady hugged the black cat in her arms. As she stroked its fur, she muttered, "Speaking of which, I haven't seen Xiaolin in years. I wonder how that girl is doing." That girl didn't forget to leave Angel's Shelter to her most trusted sister. She made sure everything was in order before she left. She didn't let me worry about her. Big Blackie, you miss that girl too, right? It's a pity that my health is deteriorating year by year. I wonder if I can attend the selection this year. If I can, I'll bring you to meet Xiaolin. We can catch up. In a luxurious villa in the wealthy district of the imperial capital. Lin Yuetong angrily threw a newspaper on the table. You bastard. My face has been thrown away by her. As Lin Xia massaged Lin Yuetong's back, she comforted him gently. Dad, don't be angry. Don't let your anger affect your health. Sister doesn't have any bad intentions. She just wants to participate in the election. The more Lin Yuetong thought about it, the angrier he became. To think that he had gone through so much trouble to arrange a blind date for this rebellious girl. In the end, she had been ungrateful and had embarrassed him. In the end, he did not know what she had done to offend the other party. Lin Yuetong's expression softened when he saw his youngest daughter, Lin Xia. I wouldn't have to worry so much if your sister was even 1,000th of you. Initially, Lin Xia had wanted Lin Yan to attend the event and witness how she had become the charity ambassador. However, she hadn't expected that Lin Yan would be reported by a fan. Qingmin had also spoken to the organizers, so they didn't dare delay Lin Yan's decision. Lin Yan's reputation had been tarnished, and there was no way she could make a comeback. Chapter 728. Lin Yan's reputation had been tarnished, and there was no way she could make a comeback. The mainstream media and major production companies valued their artists' achievements. With such a stain on her reputation, who would dare hire her in the future? Even if Lin Yan continued to work in this industry, she would forever be at the bottom and be trampled by her. She just had to pull some strings and get the production crew to terminate Lin Yan's contract. That would be possible. Lin Xia exhaled a mouthful of impure air as a sense of satisfaction rose in her heart. She had been sickly since a young age, so she had spent most of her time in the hospital. Ever since she was a child, Lin Yan had been the center of attention. Her parents had adored her, and her brother had stuck to her. She, on the other hand, had been better than Lin Yan in every way. However, she had been hiding in a dark corner like a ghost. Even when her parents had divorced, her father had only wanted custody of Lin Yan. Of course, she couldn't allow Lin Yan to stay with her father. They were both her father's daughters. Why? Why was she the only one who could stay with her father? Lin Yan hadn't wanted to leave her mother, so she had insisted that she couldn't bear to part with her sister. Lin Yan had volunteered to stay with her mother. She hated Lin Yan the most because she had snatched away all her love and attention. She had even snatched the man she liked away from her. She had had a crush on Han Yishuan for a long time. She had mustered the courage to confess to him, but he had rejected her. She hadn't told anyone about this, not even Lin Yan. She couldn't accept the fact that Han Yishuan had become Lin Yan's boyfriend. Why should all the good things belong to Lin Yan? The better Lin Yan had treated her, the more she hated her. She had been forced to give away everything that belonged to her. Fortunately, she had already snatched back everything that belonged to her. She wanted Lin Yan to lose all her standing and reputation. Are we still going to the charity event next week? Duo asked hesitantly. Previously, Zhao Hongling had used her connections to get Lin Yan an invitation to the charity event in order to build a positive image for her. Although Lin Yan had been disqualified from the selection, she could still attend the event as a guest. Lin Yan didn't really care if she went or not. She glanced at Zhao Hongling and said, "Sister Ling, you can decide. I'll listen to you." Zhao Hongling was hesitant as well. If Lin Yan attended the event, she would have to face the pressure of the public. She was worried that Lin Yan wouldn't be able to handle it. In order to get this invitation, Sister Ling used her connections and spent a lot of money on gifts. Everything was going according to plan, but who knew that Lin Shia would be so cunning? Duo grumbled. Spend a lot of money? Lin Yan's ears perked up as she replied solemnly, "Then let's go. It's not like I'll lose a few pieces of meat if I get scolded a few times." Zhao Hongling, looks like I was worried for nothing. Given Lin Yan's situation, anyone else would have collapsed by now. However, Lin Yan seemed to be unfazed by it. The scolding from the outside world might not have affected her as much as losing 100 yuan. Zhao Hongling had pondered this for a long time. Given Lin Yan's current situation, there was nothing she could do to make things worse. Therefore, it was better to leave everything as it was. Chapter 729. At Cloud Manor, Lin Yan had just arrived home when two furry fellows wrapped themselves around her feet. Meow. Lin Yan's heart melted instantly, and the knot in her heart was swept away. She happily fed the two fellows and scooped their poop. Perhaps this was the common trait of a *T shoveling official. Ever since they had a cat, they wanted to show off. As usual, Lin Yan showed off a bunch of pictures of her cats after she was done with the food. Then, she became the most popular trending topic. There were stubborn people in the entertainment industry, but no one was as stubborn as Lin Yan. Most people would have stayed at home and refused to show their faces again. However, Lin Yan continued to do whatever she wanted to do. She didn't seem to be bothered by the scolding. Those who knew her knew that she had a clear conscience, so there was nothing to hide. However, those who didn't know the truth naturally thought that she was putting on a show to gain popularity. To be honest, I've seen shameless people before, but I've never seen someone as shameless as her. How could she still show off in this situation? Lin Yan's skin is as thick as the city wall. Yeah. She has been disqualified by the officials for manipulating votes, yet she still has the cheek to put on a show. Vote manipulator, get out of here. I feel disgusted just by looking at you. How dare you dream of becoming the philanthropic ambassador? I think you're more like *T. Lin Yan had already spoken to Zhao Hongling, so she didn't have any reservations. She continued to let loose and reposted a comment that accused her of manipulating votes. She replied, "I didn't manipulate votes. There's no need for that. All these years, she had spent most of her income on charity. Other than Angel's Shelter, she had also donated to other charities. If she really wanted to be the philanthropic ambassador, she wouldn't need to manipulate votes. However, she didn't want to trouble the old lady over this. She had no intention of using this to gain benefits. Lin Yan's comment stirred up a storm of criticism. How arrogant. Do you think you're Shia? You're not even fit to carry Shia's shoes. If she didn't manipulate votes, the votes wouldn't even be in the single digits. Who gave her the courage to say that? There's no need for that. Ha ha. Indeed, there's no need for that. Even if you do, it won't change the fact that you're a piece of trash. Lin Yan ignored the comments and clicked on the videos of the recent international competitions. Ever since she retired, her old rival had been doing very well and had taken the first place in several important competitions. While he was watching the match, he heard familiar footsteps coming from the door, followed by a few knocks. Lin Yan clumsily turned off the video and saw Pei Yuqing standing at the door. She had no idea when he had returned. Mr. Pei. You're back. Lin Yan was surprised. Yes. Pei Yuqing removed his coat and placed it on his wrist. Then, he undid his tie as he strode in. The two kittens, who had been circling Lin Yan earlier, scurried away the moment they saw him. Lin Yan was taken aback when she saw him. They had been living together for a long time, but he rarely entered her room. Lin Yan didn't have time to think. She strode over and took the coat from him. She hung it on the hanger for him. You're early today. Pei Yuqing had been very busy. Recently, he had only come home at midnight. However, today, he was back before 8 o'clock. Pei Yuqing entered the room and sat down on the couch opposite Lin Yan's bed. Lin Yan had no idea why he was looking for her. She glanced at him curiously. Mr. Pei, why are you looking for me? Pei Yuqing removed his gold-framed glasses and glanced at the girl. Do you need me to chat with you? Lin Yan was startled. Huh? Chat? Pei Yuqing glanced at his watch. I'm not busy today. You can set the time. Why did he sound like he was saying, I'm free today? You can set the time? The corners of Lin Yan's mouth twitched. Ahem. You can set the time? Pei Yuqing replied, sure. Lin Yan, who had no idea what was going on, instinctively asked, can I book you for the night? Pei Yuqing was speechless. Chapter 730. When she realized what she had said, Lin Yan wished that she could dig a hole and bury herself in it. She waved her hands frantically and said, sorry. It was a slip of the tongue. She had merely said it out loud. She had definitely not been blinded by his beauty and had accidentally blurted out her true thoughts. Pei Yuqing chuckled softly, as though a ray of winter sunlight had shone through the depths of a world of ice and snow. The man replied, I'm afraid I can't. Lin Yan felt even more embarrassed when she heard Pei Yuqing's reply. Ever since they had moved here, Pei Yuqing had been treating her with respect. He had never intruded on her private life and had been very careful to keep his distance from her. She had thought that Pei Yuqing was a gentleman who respected her. Now that she thought about it, was Pei Yuqing guarding against her? God was her witness. She really didn't harbor any ill intentions. Lin Yan, who felt aggrieved, hurriedly explained, Mr. Pei, please don't misunderstand. It was a slip of the tongue. Actually, I have good self-control. He wouldn't be unable to control himself and do something like that. Pei Yuqing glanced at Lin Yan with a faint smile. Yeah, I know. Lin Yan heaved a sigh of relief. She was about to speak when Pei Yuqing paused and added, but I'm not confident in my self-control. Lin Yan was speechless. Lin Yan almost choked on her own saliva and coughed violently. So Pei Yuqing had been keeping his distance because he was worried that he wouldn't be able to control himself? In the end, Pei Yuqing set the time. Is 2 hours okay? Lin Yan, who had finally calmed down, asked hesitantly, why, do you want to chat with me all of a sudden? Miss Lin, you can look for me whenever you want. However, unless I take the initiative, you won't look for me, replied Pei Yucheng. Air. Lin Yan instinctively rubbed her nose. Why did it sound as though she was a scumbag? That was true. Ever since she had started dating, she had been obsessed with earning money. She had been busier than Pei Yucheng. Even though she had moved here, she hadn't interacted much with Pei Yucheng. She had gone on a date with Pei Yucheng because that fellow had sent her a message. She had celebrated Pei Yucheng's birthday with him because he had reminded her that she hadn't cooked the gift and the meal herself. Oh, the more I think about it, the more I feel like trash. How has work been recently? Pei Yucheng asked casually. Something flashed across Lin Yan's mind. Pei Yucheng had taken the initiative to talk to her today. Could it be because of her recent scandals online? He promised her that he wouldn't interfere with her work, but he was worried about her, so he was accompanying her in this way? Lin Yan felt even more guilty at the thought of this. He felt that he was a scumbag. There was a small problem, but it's nothing serious, replied Lin Yan. Although the resources in China would be affected, at least the characters in Legend of Mir 2 wouldn't be affected. After all, Yeva had chosen this role herself. If the production crew contacted Yeva and asked her if she wanted a replacement, she could just tell them that she didn't want to do it. Actually, it wasn't that she didn't understand the messy tricks of the entertainment industry. She just didn't want to do it. Even if she wanted to return the favor, she would do so with her own strength. Chapter 731. Pei Yucheng didn't probe further. He merely nodded and said, if you need anything, you can look for me. I'm skipping dozens of levels to look for the big boss. Isn't that a little inappropriate? Lin Yan asked awkwardly. Pei Yucheng chuckled. Looking for the boss is indeed skipping a level, but looking for a boyfriend isn't. Lin Yan was so shocked that she almost fell off her chair. Ahem, it had only been a few minutes, but she couldn't take it anymore. Overnight? Who gave her the courage? Lin Yan calmed her racing heart and changed the topic. Oh yeah, did you ask Ling Yu to look for me? I heard that she used to be the boss of Summit Entertainment. Isn't it a bit of a waste for such a powerful boss to be my assistant? Pei Yucheng replied, don't feel burdened. She is free now, so she can decide whether to stay or leave. In other words, Ling Yu had volunteered to be her assistant. Although she had helped, she had only said a few words. She hadn't done anything else. She was overwhelmed by this favor. Lin Yan had initially been worried that the conversation would turn awkward when she was alone with Pei Yucheng. In the end, the two of them chatted casually. Every time they had nothing to say, Pei Yucheng would bring up a topic that interested her. Unknowingly, they had chatted for a long time. 2 hours had passed. Most of the time, Pei Yucheng was the one who was concerned about her. Lin Yan felt that she should be concerned about him as well. Hence, she asked, Mr. Pei, how have you been recently? Pei Yucheng stroked the silver watch on his wrist habitually. I'm fine now. You still have to be careful. Don't sleep too late. Rest early and make sure you get enough sleep, Lin Yan reminded him. Pei Yucheng leaned against the couch and raised his eyebrows. He glanced at Lin Yan and said, it's okay to stay up late occasionally. Lin Yan was instantly reminded of what he had said earlier. Her cheeks heated up instantly. She had never thought of staying overnight. Rest early. Good night. Pei Yucheng stood up and stroked the girl's hair. Good night. Lin Yan's expression changed as she watched him leave. She seemed to be in a dilemma. After hesitating for a while, Lin Yan called out anxiously, wait. Wait. Pei Yucheng halted in his tracks. What's wrong? Lin Yan scratched her head and hesitated for a moment. Then, she tiptoed and kissed him on the cheek. Her soft lips landed on his skin like a feather. Pei Yucheng's pupils constricted. Lin Yan coughed softly. About that, tip, Pei Yuqing was startled at first. Then, he chuckled softly as he caressed the girl's cheek with his long fingers. A tip. This customer seems a little stingy. Lin Yan was speechless. How dare he call her stingy? Before she could respond, he leaned forward and kissed her on the lips. Unlike Lin Yan's light kiss, Pei Yuqing grabbed the girl's chin and kissed her passionately. Lin Yan didn't know how much time had passed, but the kiss finally ended when she felt like she had run out of air. Lin Yan panted softly when she heard the man's hoarse voice. Thank you for your patronage. Chapter 732. The next morning, Lin Yan received a call as soon as she woke up. It was Head Secretary Liu of Darling's Home Charity Foundation. Hello, Head Secretary Liu. Lin Yan answered the call. The person on the other end of the line sounded excited when he heard Lin Yan's voice. You finally picked up. Lin Yan replied, ahem. Sorry, I've been busy lately. Did something happen with the foundation? Asked Lin Yan. It's fine. Everything is going well with the foundation. Isn't the charity event next week? Hence, the vice president asked me to call you to ask if you would like to attend, the man said eagerly. As usual, replied Lin Yan. Head Secretary Liu sounded a little disappointed. President, do you mean that the vice president will attend on your behalf? Lin Yan replied, yeah. Head Secretary Liu hesitated for a moment before he blurted out, President, I've heard a lot about you. People on the internet have gone overboard. You're the president of our foundation. Why would you need to participate in a fancy selection? What were those people's brains made of? President, do you really not need us to clarify this matter? No need. It's not that easy to clarify this matter. Besides, there's no need. Don't get involved in this mess, replied Lin Yan. Besides, she didn't want to reveal her identity. Sigh. All right then. Head Secretary Lin fell silent when he saw how determined Lin Yan was. Lin Yan leaned back on the couch and shut her eyes. She had come across Darling's home when she had been looking for her brother. At the time, not many people had paid attention to the foundation. At first, she had only donated some money because her income hadn't been high. Later, she had gone abroad and joined a team. Her income had increased, so she had donated more and more money. Until now, she had donated regularly to the foundation. Besides that, she had also provided fundraising and publicity plans for the foundation. As a result, the foundation had gained more and more attention. Several proposals had been approved by the public. Hence, she had been invited by the person in charge of the foundation to join the project department. Naturally, she had agreed. Later on, her position in the foundation had risen. From the project department to the fundraising department, from the fundraising department to the board of directors, from the chairman to the vice president. Eventually, she had accidentally become the president. The foundation even made an exception for her and allowed her to keep her identity a secret. For some occasions that she needed to attend, the vice president would attend on her behalf. Not only did she have to race, but she also had to manage Darling's Home Charity Foundation. She couldn't split herself up, and it wasn't convenient for her to be overseas. That was why she had left Angel's shelter to Lin Shuya. His mother and Lin Shuya didn't know about this. Everyone thought that her brother had no chance of survival. At that time, she did not dare to give her mother and sister any unnecessary hope. She only dared to look for him in private. In the process of looking for her brother, she discovered many families who had lost their loved ones just like her, so she wanted to help them. All these years, she had helped countless families find their loved ones. Unfortunately, there had been no news of her younger brother, although Lin Yan had said that she wouldn't be attending as the president. Head Secretary Liu had still sent her a VIP invitation. Chapter 733. In a private room in a cafe, Manager Zhao, nice to meet you. I have long heard of your reputation in the industry. Today, I finally got the chance to meet you and have a good chat. Lin Xia greeted Lin Xia politely. Zhao Hongling studied Lin Xia and her manager from head to toe as though she was deep in thought. She seemed to be trying to figure out why Lin Xia had asked her out today. Duo, on the other hand, looked wary. Miss Lin, you flatter me. May I know why you asked me out today? Zhao Hongling cut to the chase. Lin Xia glanced at her manager, who turned to Zhao Hongling. Miss Zhao, I won't beat around the bush. I'm sure you're aware of Lin Yan's current situation. I've received news that Summit Entertainment is about to terminate Lin Yan's contract. After all, Lin Yan's backer won't be able to protect her now that this matter has blown out of proportion. Once Lin Yan leaves, you won't be able to stay in Summit Entertainment. Given your capabilities, it would be a waste for you to stay by Lin Yan's side. You heard what Xia said earlier. Miss Zhao, you're really capable. How could Zhao Hongling not understand what Lin Xia was trying to say? She had never imagined that Lin Xia would be trying to poach Lin Yan. Indeed, Lin Xia's manager added, Miss Zhao, are you interested in joining Triumph Entertainment? Zhao Hongling frowned. Triumph Entertainment. Lin Xia smiled faintly and said confidently, you might not be able to join the company, but I can make the decision to let you join House of Millions Media first. Given your capabilities, I'm sure it won't take long for you to join the company. Lin Xia glanced at Duo and added, of course, Assistant Qian can come along as well. Duo was shocked when she heard this. Lin Xia looked kind and harmless on the surface, yet she had been scheming against Lin Yan. She had snatched Lin Yan's position as the daughter of the Lin family, stolen her boyfriend, and ruined her reputation. Now, she was trying to poach the only person who had stayed by Lin Yan's side. She had even claimed that she was interested in Sister Ling's capabilities. Of course Sister Ling was capable. Who would want to join a small, lousy company? Plenty had to restrain himself from cursing out loud. Zhao Hongling took a sip of the coffee on the table and looked up expressionlessly. I'm sorry, Miss Lin. I have no intention of jumping ship. Duo hurriedly said, me neither. Lin Xia hadn't expected that Zhao Hongling and Toto would reject her, and her expression stiffened. Lin Xia's manager's face darkened. Miss Zhao, are you saying that House of Millions Media is too small for you? Miss Zhao, a manager like you, who has been fired by the company time and time again, has groomed an artist like Lin Yan. I can't think of a better choice than House of Millions Media. At this moment, Duo couldn't help but speak up, sorry for interrupting. I'm very curious. Since that's the case, why would Miss Lin want to poach us? House of Millions Media is a subsidiary company of Triumph Entertainment. They're backed by a big tree, so they can poach any manager or assistant they want. Lin Xia glanced at Duo and said calmly, I told you that I admire both of you. You're tuning into the Biyao's Wuxia Chronicles YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.